Hey, look at that.
Hello, there we are.
Look, man, we are back. We are back and like never before.
I'm so used to doing this with my right hand, not my left hand. Throw me off, dude.
Wow, look at that, man. It has been a couple weeks since I've been back here.
Hell yes, it's good to have you back. It was
Yeah, man.
having Desco by my side was both a challenge and it was hard to breathe after those.
I bet. I
Not,
bet.
not a last.
I am typing something in there right now about that. No Desco.
There is no Steven Desco this week. We are Desco
Oh
free.
man. Well, now we got to build the audience back up because we fucking lost everybody because of him. Thank God. And my hopes are not a lot of people saw that. So yeah.
Of course,
I
it was
don't know.
Tommy
I try.
for the week.
Yeah, which sucks because I really wanted to,
Hey, I'll tell you what though.
Tommy.
I don't know that either of us could have done any better with that guy than he did. So it was that
I
was
don't know,
that
man.
was like doing extortion.
I
I mean, really, it was.
I hate to give Desco too much credit for anything. So.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah. But I figured I'd come back and see where the world was now because apparently times have changed and Desco takes over and everything goes to shit. We were up to like 10,000, 12,000 people a week that watched us. We went down to 3. That shows how
He was one of them at the same time.
That shows how fast he can destroy an entire podcast.
My light.
Oh, you got some light on you now, brother. Well, anyway, I guess we'll just welcome everybody to the Live at the Landis podcast. Well, I'm back. Yay. There it is. Tuesdays at 7 p.m. to 9 p.m. I am in my vacation suite over here, which is the inside of my mind, as you can see what it looks like. It is a faraway place in a mountain valley somewhere. I don't know where, but...
And an undisclosed location underground.
Yes, with my losing Phillies hat that I bought like a month ago, all excited that they would win wearing it. Instead, they just fucking sucked on that one.
They keep finding ways to screw it up.
Yeah,
they it's amazing.
I don't know, man. What they say their
own.
own.
We're not a Phillies podcast.
Yeah, go. My God, no. We would just have to leave.
For the last month.
If this was a Phillies podcast, we just leave men on base. We'd be fine. That's
runners in scoring position.
That's all they do, man. That's all they do.
Complain about referees now or umpires.
Well, I don't know, man. That was some
bad.
That was pretty bad. That was really bad. But
T-Mac is. He was like mad on air last night
because it was bad. I mean, it wasn't even the second one wasn't even close. No. I mean, that was just bad. That was horrible.
Out 3 times at this point.
Yeah, that was horrible. That was horrible. He kind of gave it back there later, so I mean,
he did indeed. But that was one of those classic times where it's like, of all the times you could have done that,
yeah,
not right there.
Yeah, Phillies make baseball hard to watch sometimes. Yeah. And make it difficult. But hey, they're still in the lead. I think they're still a game up on New York. So
I believe so because they also keep finding ways to miserably. So
they did it to themselves too. So I mean,
Yeah. Oh my.
But we don't have anything from last week, man. We were closed. We were dark.
Yes.
We were dark, man. And I needed it.
Oh.
I needed that darkness for a little bit, so.
Yes.
Hey, what's going on, girlfriend? Good to see you. Where's your husband at?
Get him on the horn. Hurry up. Alert. Ray is back.
I am back. If we can get the other like 10,000 people we lost because of Desco, that would be great,
Already up to 7, which is about 7 more than last week. So. Good Lord. Yeah, and then now Facebook has gone and they changed the way that live streams are saved on your stuff.
Oh, so really?
It doesn't save them anymore on Facebook. So I was trying to go back and like look at look at the decline ever since he started, and you can't even go back that far to check.
Well, you can. So on the other channel I have, what I would do is save them on YouTube and then just repost the YouTube link.
Yeah, that's good. Old YouTube is basically like a storage drive for us at this point.
Yeah,
so.
Yeah.
It is.
But I'm doing good, man. I'm doing good. I just I've been through some old military guy with some some little stuff going on, and you know, just trying to get, you know, head straight like always. He's there. He's and don't let him have the keyboard.
Mars. Keep the keyboard away.
No, I mean, you got some stuff coming up this weekend though. We got a couple good things. Oh Lord,
Yes, we do.
that is my camera thing. Let me turn that off. Yeah, we got. I'm looking forward to a couple things this weekend. I think not the Lollapalooza, the is it Lollapalooza?
Landis Fest.
Landis
Warped
Fest.
Tour.
Warped Tour. We have a Lollapalooza coming up too. That's later in the year though.
Yes.
Hey, Fate's Hand. Yeah, a little R&R is definitely needed sometimes, my friend. I don't feel like I got enough, to be honest with you. I'm still working, so I'm booking all kinds of bands. I got a bunch of stuff. I literally booked about 5 things today, so including a Trans-Siberian Orchestra
I did see that.
tribute for December, which I'm excited about. I think that's going to be a good one.
Hell yes.
I'm definitely excited about that. I watched the video, and these guys are.
That was the TSO I was thinking about.
Yes, and my thoughts are maybe we get the lasers up and running for that one. You know, really go all out, because that'd be a really good show. And I'm sure my hopes are they have some cool like stuff that they use. You know, because you know, I would like to stick with what they do, because they're a really good band. I watched some videos and they're really good. So I'm excited about them.
Hell yes. Ooh, look at that. There's all this new stuff here that I don't know if it's because I'm on this computer and not the other one, but it looks like StreamYard changed everything.
I heard a clasp of thunder, and then we both froze.
Yeah, yeah. We'll see how this one goes, because that's I heard the same thing. It's so fun being over here and being able to like hear. You know, I've got the street right behind me, and it's a lot louder than our usual spot. So
yeah, I bet. Yeah, I got the you know, I'm in this nice secluded, you know, cabin here, so it's like, you know, it's great. I got the dogs over here laying on the couch, which is always great.
Yes.
But you know, getting that R&R that I need, you know. But no, so LandisFest. Let's talk LandisFest, man. We got three weekends of it. This first weekend, dude, drop some ice cream off at my cabin, will you please? I could die for. I got fucking Fig Newtons, man.
That is not
this show. Ryan, what's going on, brother? So good to see you guys, man. I am looking so forward to your show, bro. That is going to be such a good show, man. And then, of course, that night we get to talk about their next show, which we haven't talked about yet, which I'm more excited about, to be honest with you, because I enjoyed the last time they did it. Wink, wink.
Yes.
Nod, nod. Nudge, nudge.
It's not the Wall. I can tell you that.
No, it's not the Wall, unfortunately. But that was a damn good show too, man. They really did. That was a great show, the Wall. But LandisFest. So what we're doing is each weekend, this, you know, dude. But I keep hearing that thunder. I'm telling you, I think we're gonna go out. But it's raining there too. I'm like 100 miles away, so we were both getting thunderstorms and rain. That's crazy.
It's funny because in here it sounds like what I hear all day long of like trucks going through the intersection.
Oh, wow.
I keep thinking, oh, yeah, it's just trucks. But then I see you react. I'm like, oh, shit, that might have been thunder.
We're under the same cloud somehow.
Open up the window and do a live show. Oh, man, yeah, it does look like shit out there.
Dude, as long as we don't, God bless those poor people in Texas, man. As long as, you know, that's just unbelievable, man. You talk about Mother Nature, man, you know. And you know, it pisses me off, all these fucking yahoos out there blaming people for it, man. You know, they gave warnings. You know, they gave adequate time, and people just didn't think it was going to be what it was, you know.
No, especially not these days, you know. I mean, that's been the thing, is we've gotten almost too good with the warnings, you know, to where it's
well, that's the thing. Like literally, my phone says, you know, like thunderstorm and flood warnings. I'm like, yeah, okay, cool. I've seen that 100 times.
Yeah, right. I mean, how many have we gotten? You know, past actually 2 weeks. It's been going off crazy, and now again we got another week of nothing but rain coming up. So
but some love and prayers out to Texas, man. It was that's sad. A lot of children lost their lives there, along with some adults. So it's pretty sad. But you know, anyway, so let's talk LandisFest and not like bodies. Come on, baby. Now I need to be alone, man. Burlington County's got a. Hey, Carrie, how you doing, love? Tornado warning in Burlington County. Oh wow, man. we are getting hit with some stuff up in Jersey, huh?
We see tornado warning, and
Yeah.
technically, shouldn't we be like hitting the basement or some shit? Hiding in a bathtub.
Yeah. Well, I don't have a bathtub.
I don't know that I've ever done that. So.
This place only got showers, man.
Oh, it doesn't have a giant jacuzzi in there.
Yeah. Well, it's a jacuzzi, but I guess you could hide in that, right? I mean, you're underwater though. I mean, you're gonna have to be hiding.
They need bathtubs like they used to. So is that just old, terrible advice nowadays?
The hot tub's always full, man. You're just gonna drown yourself if you hide in there. I mean, that makes no sense.
People have cast iron tubs,
Oh man, my grandmother had a cast iron tub. Dude, I had a house I had purchased in Clayton, New Jersey. I bought it as a duplex, like side by side, as a rental. And I remember these bath fitter guys. Oh, it's like $3,500. I'm like, oh, $3,500 my ass, dude. I'll do it for $500 at Home Depot.
Yeah.
There was 2 cast iron tubs. There was nothing. No. Dude, I should have just paid the dudes to come and take out the cast iron tubs, man. When I tell you, it was hell.
Yeah.
Trying to get and they weighed so much. I don't even know how the building held them up for all those years. But I finally got it out. Put a good old plastic tub in there and did what. But it was pretty crazy. Yeah, that's true. That's true. Well, I don't have a bathtub. Like I said, I'll drown. All I got here is a hot tub. I'll be underwater.
Shelter? I mean, come on, we were prepared for this.
I'll be underwater trying to not drown.
This is why you don't have vacation homes.
Yes, exactly. But LandisFest, let's talk. So we have we had another band in, and some things came up, so we had to change her. We're gonna switch her around and bring her in another day. But we do have Breaker, who a lot of people are excited about seeing. Unfortunately, they are out today. They literally are working, is what it is. They have jobs. They have night jobs. But Twisted will be on a little bit later. We did talk to them, and of course, Lilies of David. Our good friend Jeremy and Deidre, yes. They are in that band, and Deidre is one of the leads. So what we're doing with this LandisFest is it's all female leads. It's basically we did. I don't know if you remember a while back we did an all girls rock weekend.
Yes.
And it was really cool. We had this cool logo that was made and everything. And it looked so cool. It was such a great poster too. So this is kind of the all girls original local bands rock weekend.
Hell yeah.
So it'll be kind of neat. And then next week we have the Goodbyes heading up the LandisFest for our second week, and they were our big winners of last year's. My pups aren't happy about the lightning.
No.
Oh Lord.
Oh yeah, that one was bad. Oh shit.
Yeah, man. You got one there too?
Oh damn.
Holy crap.
real big one. Holy shit.
But and then of course the following weekend is Fate's Hand leading it off, man, with Bone Devil, and there's another band there. I cannot read that; it is way too small on my screen, to be honest.
In November, I believe.
And November, is that what it is? I don't know how to make my screen. I guess I can't make it.
They were apparently out front taking pictures yesterday.
Oh really? End November? Well, that's fantastic, man. I'm looking forward to it.
Yes, and you're looking for that little square in the bottom right corner when you hover, if you want to make it full screen.
There. Oh, look, I can read it now. So with the Goodbyes is the Azures.
Good luck.
Venture Out, yep. Hush, and Likely Story.
Yes, there you go.
Now I remember Hush was real good. Didn't we have them upstairs?
Yeah, I believe they've played upstairs. Venture Out was also one of our Battle of the Bands.
Oh, nice.
Nice. Coffee. So that was 2 years ago, actually, for them. And then the Azures, they have played upstairs as well. I think the only one we haven't had was Likely Story.
Oh, nice. Well, now remember, though, that second one in, that the Gabs band will not be playing. It's Breaker, Twisted, and now we have Lilies of David, they call themselves. Lilies of David.
Fix this, actually.
And we're gonna have Jeremy on in a little while, man. And I haven't seen Jeremy in a while since last time they played here, to be honest with you.
Yeah, and they are fantastic, and we get to hear a full band this time, not just acoustic, which is nice.
Yeah, that's true. That was an acoustic thing they did last time. I forgot about that. Wasn't that for? Was that Joel Hoekstra?
I think so.
It might have been.
Yes. Yeah, I think so. Oh damn! There's the rain. Holy shit! I can't see the hotel across the street anymore.
Oh no! Well, nobody wants to see that hotel anyways.
Oh,
That's a
yeah,
good
nice
thing.
permanent.
Maybe it should just rain all the time there.
Great. Yeah, damn. Holy shit.
But we also the Warp Tour, man. Now I'm excited about this one. Now they sent an email out today that I gave over to Andy, and he's going to send it out tomorrow to people that bought tickets.
Yes.
And they are going to basically they have a link set up where if you bought tickets, you'll get an email tomorrow, and you can help choose the music and the songs that they're going to play, which is really cool.
Yeah, I think they said
That's different.
Like top 15 songs or something. They put
Yeah.
into the set list, so that's a lot of songs.
That's cool.
You know,
That's cool.
to have fans.
You
pick.
look so weird with the foggy background there, man. It looks so weird.
Trying to hide the thunder and lightning now.
Nobody cares
Holy
about
shit.
that.
Damn, dude, that one was crazy.
You getting it bad over there?
Yeah.
Yeah. Holy
Lit up like a
shit.
Christmas tree behind me. But yeah, I'm excited for that one too. Obviously, that was
Yeah.
kind of my festival growing up. You know, I went to my first one in 2006, and went to them, you know, basically till it ended after that. And you know, that's probably right about halfway through
Was it
that they were doing them.
was it the Warp Tour? I went to one of them. I think I went to one. It was like Blink 182 and a few other bands.
Mhm.
Well, it was a bunch of bands, but like the big bands, it was like Blink 182 and I think Good Charlotte, maybe.
Yeah.
Something
Yep.
like
I
that.
think
Yeah.
my first year they were one of the headliners still too. That would make.
And then I went to a couple.
Uh-oh. Oh boy. Here we go.
Uh-oh.
Uh-oh. Hey, wait, he's
You're
back.
frozen. You are
Oh.
frozen still.
Hey, so are you.
I got caught eating.
Back with a fake fucking Newton. Fake Newtons. Newtons. Here, wait a minute. Let me see if I can take this here background off. There we go.
Oh, that's not so bad.
It's a little bit. That's one of the Warped Tour bands right up there. So
There you go. And that's one of your favorite bands, isn't it?
yes, absolutely. That is probably my favorite band of all time. Right from Philadelphia, of course.
Wow.
No, Doylestown, actually. I think they're not really from Philly, but that was the thing about this music scene is that a lot of these
Easy,
guys,
kid. Easy.
even if they weren't from around here, they kind of all ended up living in Philly. To be honest, it was either Philly or L.A. or Chicago. Like they were like the three big. I guess Boston too was another big one, but like for some reason, all these bands kind of flocked to Philadelphia. So our Warped Tours were the best stops every single
Well,
year.
Philly back in the 60s and 70s was a really big music scene. I mean,
Yeah.
it was also in the 40s and 50s, you know, with Motown and all that, but the 60s and 70s, I mean, you had the Tower. I mean, you had like David Bowie recording albums there
Yeah,
and stuff. You know, you had some of the biggest even through the 80s, Philly was a place no band missed on tour.
Absolutely.
You know, you got into the 90s and it got a little, you know, it was, if you still had all the big bands, but not every band wanted, and then you got into the 2000s and now nobody wants to fucking play Philly. You know what I mean?
Yeah, now
and it's like,
seeing it
yeah.
less and less on tour posters, you know. And
well, nobody's even touring anymore. It's, you know, nobody
Yeah.
tours like they used to.
That was the damn spot, man.
Yeah.
There's so many good venues, you know, between the Troc and the TLA and all these other places you can go, you know, see 5 shows in one night if you really wanted to.
Yeah.
To now, it's like, I don't know, unless you're going to like the Fillmore, which is basically its own compound down there.
Yeah.
There's not really much else worth going to. I mean, the TLA is not what it used to be. The Troc is gone.
Troc is gone. I used to I like the Man, you know, that was a great place. But they're so selective on who they bring there and the shows they have and stuff. So you never know what you're going to see there. What was that? You get hit?
Fucking place over here, dude. Damn.
Yeah, I got a very frightened dog in my place over here.
That was crazy. It's supposed to be a pretty big storm to be wherever you're at. But yeah, it's, you know, the only real venue that I actually like anymore in that city. I mean, even the Electric Factory, it's no longer the Electric Factory. You know, it's a corporate shithole at this point that they lost the naming rights to. So it's you know, that was the funniest thing that's ever happened. But Union Transfer, that's the only one. You know, they're an independent place. They've got their own parking lot. Like, you don't got to go searching for shit. You can get in, you can get out, you can leave, be gone. There's like nothing else there. So there's nothing else to contend with. But other than that, I'm not.
I like that Landis. That Landis Theater. It's just outside of Philly, but it's really nice place.
Same kind of thing. You know, this is an easy place to get to. And that's why that's the only place I'll go to, is because I'm not dealing with hassle.
Yeah.
To go to a show for 2 hours, you know? Here,
well, you don't want to get shot up either. I mean, I'm sure you've seen the video.
Right.
Did you
Yep.
see the video from the 4th
Oh
of
yeah.
July? Yeah.
Oh yeah. Yep.
Yeah, a bunch of numb nuts with fucking guns that don't even know how to aim,
Yep.
just shooting. I mean, it's like it's just absolutely unbelievable. I mean, Philly it's a death trap now. It's getting that way. A lot of places are like that. That's what makes the Landis Theater like one of those places. I mean, you're safe. We
Yes.
probably have more cops.
Hmm.
Well, I think what do we have, like at least 3 cops per person in Vineland?
Yeah. Probably, and we're the only city around here that does. So,
Dude, when
it's,
in Vineland, when there's something that happens and you hear a cop go by, like 37 cops follow.
yeah. Yep.
I mean, and we're literally right down the street from the police station.
Hmm.
We have an incredibly well lit parking lot. We have a Catholic church across the street. We have
Some may
another
say
church
well.
on the other side. I mean, it's like we're surrounded by churches and police. I mean, you can't
Yeah.
find a safer place to go, to be honest. You know what I mean?
Absolutely. Absolutely.
It's actually,
and it's safe and easy. Again, you get off of 55.
yes.
It's
Yep.
one road, and you keep driving until you see the damn place. There's no directions we have to give to anybody. You get off and go straight till you see us.
Even if you're coming from Philly, it's basically a straight shot.
Yeah.
You just take the highway kind of straight until you got to make that one turn to get off on the street that we're on, Landis Avenue.
It's a double exit. I'll give them that. That's a
Yeah.
little. You might end up in Rosenhain first, but as long as you take the right one, you're good to go. Once you get off of that,
If you pay attention,
great
you'll
stop.
get there. You'll get there.
Maybe that's getting older. I don't know. These are the things you appreciate when
Yes.
going places. It's
Yes.
I don't want to have to park somewhere and walk 10 blocks to get to it. I don't want to have to take a train.
Well, that's the thing too. I mean,
I'm-
we have not only all the parking that's there. You have the street parking. You have the parking across the street at the church. Of course, we could use their lot. I mean, you have so much parking at the Landis. Like I said, it's a great spot, and we have dreamed over the last several years of it being like a place that people really want to come see shows. But I think the problem is, and a lot of venues are seeing it. Even these venues you're talking about, Philly, is just nobody's going out anymore.
Yeah.
Like no one goes to see live music. It's like, what what do you got to do to get people the hell out of their house anymore? It's tough.
Look at last weekend. That should have been a major weekend, and I was seeing videos of fucking Secrets in Ocean City, Maryland, empty. Like
Yeah.
that's never, as long as I've been able to drink.
Yep.
That's not a place that has not had a line up front of it.
Yeah.
And,
It's crazy.
So something's up, but that's I think the good part about here is we make it easy to come out when you do come out. It shouldn't be a hassle. It shouldn't be you're doing this to kind of use your free time up, and it should just be a simple thing that you go out and do.
Yeah.
Be done with it. So.
Well, look, I mean, it is true. Gas prices are down. Prices are going down. Things are good when what is it? Waffle House takes the what they have? They had like an extra 50 cents per egg on or whatever it was.
Yes.
And they took that off.
The Waffle House Index is that's a real.
Well, the Waffle House Index says that the country's doing better. So maybe people are going to start spending money, but I think they're still afraid to spend money. You never know. You listen to mainstream media. Oh, thank you, Adam, man. That means a lot, brother. It really does, man.
Absolutely.
It really does, man. And Adam, you're fucking killer, dude. We love it. We can't wait to have you guys back.
Bands we've had, so
yeah, man. Absolutely, man. Back in February of next year, we're having them back in February next year. So I'm looking forward to that.
And that's another one. We'll kind of let you all make your own conclusions as to what it is. But there's a lot of Rush anniversaries coming up.
Oh, true. We know what's funny is because Rush was dropping albums 2 a year for a while. Like they were like just dropping albums.
That's what I mean. I think this year, I think it's Power Windows is at the anniversary of that this year. But then from here on out, it's every Rush album you can think of was released. Back to back to back to back. Who was the other band we just had like that, where we were like, damn, they had all these albums, and we're like, wait, this is like a fucking 2 year time period.
I know you're talking about.
We were talking about. But it actually might have been Rush now that I think about it, but it was back to back to back to back to back to back, and you were like, damn, they were really only around for like 4 years, basically. I don't think it was Rush, because obviously Rush is still kicking.
Yeah.
Still going strong.
No, it was somebody else we had. I remember that conversation, but dude, I love and it's funny because if Joe's still on with his wife, Joe swears by this other Rush band. Well, I don't even remember the name of them. I could care less. But I have seen Rush many times in concert. Probably one of my first concerts in the 80s and 70s and 80s. Probably maybe concert. It was my first few concerts I ever went to with Moving Pictures Tour.
Yes.
And I've seen Rush at their height, man. And this band is the closest thing to seeing Rush that I've come close to. You could close your eyes and you swear to God you're at a Rush concert. Yeah. I mean, even vocals, the drums, without a doubt. And you're talking about Neil Peart. You know, I mean, how do you emulate Neil Peart? Well, this guy does it, man.
They
miraculously
videos from it too, and
I know, man, and they're just better every time.
Awesome.
The videos just get better every time. I wish we had one to show. What we'll do is we'll show those when we get closer to the show.
Yeah, hell yeah.
Because those guys are real good. They're real good. I got one of my dogs here. She keeps coming up to me here. Oh, baby girl, you good? She goes, no, I need drugs. She's asking for Benadryl.
Might have slowed down a little bit here, but
we got too many fireworks going on here, so you know how that is. Fireworks go on for like a month. It's like, dude, stop with the fireworks already.
I was thinking about that the other day. I was sitting at home and it was 4:00 in the afternoon, and people started setting shit off, and I'm like, dude, this isn't even. Not only is it not the 4th of July, it's not even nighttime. So what the hell?
No, you can't see them, man. It's just a boom. They like the boom.
Yeah, well, there was. I'll tell you, there was somebody lighting something off across the street on 4th of July here, and
it had to be Mike. It had to be Mike.
It was I thought it was Mike too at first, but it was the opposite. Like kind of where Rory actually lives, to be honest with you. He might have an idea of what the hell they were doing. Right, when I tell you, I mean, that sounded nothing like fireworks. Whatever, it sounded like if you just took a shell and forgot to put it in the tube, and it just exploded on the ground.
Yeah, that's not good. I've seen too many of those videos.
Multiple times, you know.
I've got to shave. I have like a hair drive me nuts from my mustache.
That,
like
now
sticking
you say
up.
Mine's starting to itch too.
I know, it's right there somewhere. Drive me nuts. But no, because the you got to meet Geddy, huh? Nice.
How did you never hear about that?
Nice. Guess what? Guess what? This band, the guitar player has not only met Geddy, but Geddy gave him a guitar, and he plays that bass guitar on the stage. So there you go, baby. This is a Rush band.
Trade, I believe, Adam. I
believe
he said that he traded Geddy Lee. I mean, like that's.
Yeah, I think Geddy traded it with him.
Like that's.
If Adam's still on, maybe he'll answer that question. Yeah. I think he did. I think he traded up a bass with him.
You've got something I want. Well, I'm fucking Geddy Lee. So which one? Which one do you want?
I did meet the band. I met them all at that one in Camden. What's that? I forget what it's called now, but then it was called.
Now I was going to say the BB&T, but I don't even know if that's right anymore.
It's called the Tweeter Center. When I went there, and I was backstage with, and Rush played there.
Or E Center first.
It was a Tweeter because Tweeter was a store where you could buy.
Started it off, and then it was E Center, I think. Yeah,
you could buy like audio equipment there. Tweeter. Yeah. There was one in Deptford.
Yeah.
I think I actually had when the new Mustang came out, I had one of the new Mustang. It came out looking like the old Mustang that year. And I had bought the car, was on the way to the Philadelphia Auto Show, and they didn't have a Ford Mustang there. Oh, back in 22. Yeah, see, he did trade a base with Geddy.
That's cool.
But I stopped it. I bought the car. It was literally on its way. It still had the white stuff where they were trying to hide the way it looked. Mm-hmm. And a good friend of mine owns a dealership, and he goes, "You want it?" I'm like, "Yeah." He goes, "It's on its way to Philly." So it never made it to the Philly. So I drove it. Yeah. I drove it to the Philly to the show, and we parked it in. We showed it off, and I left with it. And the guy's like, "Oh," but I had all the original paperwork too. The interior of the car was red.
Ooh.
And in the original manufacturer's little book that they would give you, they called it blood red. And they had to change that before they released that to the public. Yeah, and then, but then but I wanted a better stereo because the stock stereo sucked, and I brought it to Tweeter, and they threw it one hell. Oh, they had the one that the screen. I don't know if you remember those. It was like and the screen would come out. And you thought you were all cool and shit. Yeah. They put subs and speakers in the back with like I guess it was like Lexan that was cut out that had the Mustang horse in it. So when you turned the system on, the speakers in the back. So if you looked in my back window, I had these red, like lit up speakers. It was really cool, man. They did a hell of a job.
Damn.
Yeah, they did a good job. But yeah, that's where I first saw Rush. I was backstage at that show. Yeah, that's what I did, Joe. Yeah, that's exactly what I did. But that was a good. That was actually a really good shot. That was I don't remember the name of that tour, but it was like when they had the washing machines on stage. They had like washers and dryers on stage or whatever. I forget
What one was that? Because I think that's my favorite one.
Well, they recorded it live in Rio, and they made a video out of it. That tour, but I saw it at the Twitter Center, whatever the hell it was called, Twitter.
Twitter really missed an opportunity on that.
Yeah, they did. Yeah, they did.
They could have gotten all of the people in Philly and Delco and all that kind of shit that will never let the Twitter Center go.
Oh, well, Twitter's got all the liberals back again now. They all love Elon again.
Let's see here.
Now they're all working at the factory building Teslas instead of burning them. So
yeah, right. Go figure.
How can we put those Teslas back together?
Was that the power windows, Joe? I kind of thought
it might have been. It might have been.
Yeah, so I know that that anniversary is coming up. And
all I remember from that show is we were backstage. They had a lot of food. We literally met the band briefly for like half a second. I was more into Neil Peart anyway. I didn't care about Getty. But it was like, you like real quick, saying hi real quick. They came through. And then we went out to the side stage where the seating was, this VIP seating we had. And there was the washers and dryers on the stage. And at the time, I had owned like 3 laundromats, so it was kind of cool. There was washers and dryers. So I'm like, why are they there? No, and they were moving the whole show, too. I had clothes in them.
And then what was I guess the rotisserie one was right after that. Because that's when they started going away from having all the giant amps on stage.
Yes.
So that would have been, I think that was the next one after. But the rotisseries are my favorite thing that I've ever seen on a stage. That was the craziest thing you can imagine, going behind somebody the entire time they're playing, just rotisserie chickens being made up and down.
Yeah, I love Rush, man. It's one of my all-time favorite bands.
I did go to a show. It was their it was this band's, another one of these Warped Tour bands, basically. Actually, they were never even big enough for Warped Tour, but they're from around here. So there was a lot of bands that, they're from here, so when they play here, the shows are big. But they can play anywhere else, and it's like the corner of a bar somewhere. So that's what I loved about Philly, is you had like all these different bands.
If you could, know more about the Warped Tour than anyone. What would you say were like the top, say, like 5 bands that played the Warped Tour, like every year? I know, wasn't there consistency of bands that played every year, like for a little while, kind of like Lollapalooza?
Why, like Real Big Fish and Less Than Jake played a lot of them, and then who the hell else? You had Fall Out Boy and Paramore. Were real big, probably in that 2007 to like 2011. They were probably the big ones, especially Fall Out Boy. I mean, they that was a band that just completely blew up and was everywhere. My Chemical Romance, I saw them. That was basically like the years that I was going. They were like the 3 big ones that would kind of be back to back to back. So, but then a lot of these bands just broke up. Like it was like 20.
Most of those bands did not last, man. When you go through the late 90s, early 2000s, a lot of those bands just didn't make it, man.
Yep.
Like we got, what's his name, coming from Hinder, he's doing all the old Hinder songs, but that band made like 2 albums, said, fuck this. You know what I mean? I'm like, dude, you guys had top hits, you were touring, and it wasn't enough. Then you got bands like the Rolling Stones, that literally, they went until the drummer kicked, and I guarantee you they're going to keep going until they all kicked, I have a feeling Ronnie Wood's going to be the last one left.
Yeah. Yes. I mean, unless Keith Richards truly is just
that's possible
at this point.
That's possible.
He might last longer than all of them. But God, Steven Tyler. Every time you see him, you're like, God damn. Yeah. Father Time is hitting you hard. And Keith Richards, you've been saying that for 40 years now. Father Time's hitting you hard, like. But then he kind of got to a point and just stopped aging. Like he's old, but. I don't know.
When you're put in the what the hell's that Johnny Depp movie with the freaking boat, with the Captain Jack Sparrow movies, and they don't even put makeup on you to make you look like the 900-year-old father. You're like, dude, you got some shit going on, bro.
Yes,
definitely got some stuff going on. That is funny. But so the Warped Tour band coming in, they're basically, so I guess what they're doing is just it's simply, a lot of the fans are going to be choosing the songs.
Yeah. Yep. So, which that's a cool way to do it, to be honest, because that's like they kind of there's another band out there kind of doing the same thing, but they only play like the Fall Out Boy stuff. They play the
Yeah.
Paramore stuff. These guys, they'll play the new metal. So your Limp Bizkit played there one time, I think. Linkin Park, all bands like that. Everything to like the hardcore music, to the skate music, to the surf music. To this band encompasses it all. So what? Oh, sorry, I'm reading Joe's thing here.
Oh God, don't read Joe's things.
He's always got
I
some shit to say. But so this band actually covers the gamut. So I think if you're gonna do that, I feel like this is a good way to do it. You can kind of find out what people actually want to hear the night before and not have to make a bunch of changes to your shit.
Yeah.
Which is always nice, especially for us. Like we'll kind of know in advance, like, hey, these are the songs. Here we go. It's not, hey, here's a list of songs, and we're not going to play any of these because these people don't want to listen to skate rock. Like they don't want to listen to ska, or they don't want to listen to this, that, and the other thing. So,
Yeah.
but that was always the point of Warped Tour, is like it was everything from shit you'd hear in a skate video to shit you'd hear at a VFW hall, So it was you can go there with all your friends. There was something for everybody. It was a great place, and it was cheap as shit. The new one that they just did was not cheap as shit, and it was one weekend in Washington D.C. They just did it
I remember that. Yeah.
last week, 2 weeks ago.
Yeah.
I don't remember. But that
Didn't
was
do very well.
$300 a ticket, and that's, to me, that's not what Warped Tour was about. Like, yeah, these bands got all big now, and a lot of them are headlining arena shows and shit, Fall Out Boy and all these.
Well, when Warped Tour first came out, it was about the promotion. It was sponsorship that paid for it. Vans and all those different things. You had all those people paying the sponsors.
Yeah.
And now they don't have the sponsorship they used to have, because a lot of these people aren't sponsoring. Like, if you notice that like Budweiser used to sponsor 2 or 3 big tours a year every summer. There's no Budweiser tours going on this year.
Yep.
They're just they lost a lot of money on Bud Light. But it's like they're just not doing what they used to. The people just aren't going to see the live bands. And I saw Joe's comment about a Rush band with 3 people. And what I would say to that is, I think that's just bullshit, because in my opinion, it takes 4 people, maybe 5 people, to do what 3 people could do. So 3 people trying to play Rush, you're just sucking dick. You know what I mean? As far as I'm concerned. Because 3 people are never going to recreate Rush. It's just never going to happen.
Yeah.
You need the great singer and the great bass player. You're never going to find a Geddy Lee who can actually play bass. And I've seen the bullshit group he's talking about. They're not as good as this one. They're not even close. So the fact that, it takes more people to perform as good as Rush did is just showing that respect for how good Rush really was. Yeah. So if you just want to chicken shit out and jerk yourself off and think, oh, I got to go see a band with 3 people because that's what Rush was, well, then, have fun, man. Don't hit yourself in the eye when you fucking squirt there. But shit like that's just ridiculous, because, like I said, there's no 3 people that will ever compare to what those 3 men were. So, it's just never going to happen.
It's funny because, again, that's probably the one major band out of all of them that I wish I could have seen live. And it was to a point, I think, when I could have seen them, I wasn't sure that was going to be the Rush that I was looking for. Like when you got to those like mid 2000s tours that they were doing and stuff, I never wanted to actually go to them, because I'm like, dude, this is, no. I like old Rush.
They never stopped being great. There was never, I've never seen a Rush concert where I was like, oh man, I don't want to see them again. Yeah. And I have seen Aerosmith and don't ever want to see them again. I saw The Who, don't ever want to see them again. There's a lot of bands that I loved that I saw back in the day that were just killing it. And I'm like, yeah, I'm good. I'll never want to see them again. And I some of them I wish I hadn't, because it ruined my image of seeing them. Like this last Black Sabbath show, everybody's jerking off about it, but watching Ozzy perform in a fucking chair, I don't want to see that. No offense, man. I don't want to see it. Yep. That's not Ozzy to me, man.
What they did was about the only way they could have possibly done that. They got out there, they played 5 minutes maybe.
I saw Bark at the Moon was probably my first Ozzy show I ever saw, and it was just a fucking just crazy stage show. And I remember I was in the military. I was in Georgia, and I saw him. He did an album called The Ultimate Sin,
Mm-hmm.
and it was the Ultimate Sin tour. And he came out in white, not like all his normal black. He had this white robe on, and I remember he raised his hands and he just dropped his hands, and the crowd shut the fuck up. You could have heard a pin drop. It was like he was Ozzy, and now he's just like this old man in a chair. And it's like, I don't want to see that. I want to remember the Ozzy that shut a crowd up by raising his hands and like waddled around the stage.
Yep.
That's Ozzy to me.
Wasn't ever particularly mobile.
Yep.
He really
I was lucky enough. I was lucky enough to meet Ozzy years ago, probably early 2000s, I guess it was, on the set of the Osbournes. I had a friend of mine working on the set there when I was doing film stuff, and I got to go to his house. It was really cool. It was really nice. But he was a cool dude, but he's nothing like that. I mean, Ozzy to me just stayed steady, and then when he went down, bam, he went down, man. Yes. He went down hard.
Absolutely.
It wasn't like Ozzy over the years. You're like, oh, he's starting to get older and all. He just like all of a sudden he turned a switch, and Ozzy was like, what happened to Ozzy?
I will say the only, we have time to talk about that, but the only thing that I noticed from that entire show is fucking Geezer Butler, man. That guy can still rip on bass. He was just
he was killing it. He was killing it.
And you're like,
he was killing it.
You're like 5 minutes ahead of everybody in this song, dude.
The thing that pissed me off is every video I've seen, all I've seen is fucking Jason Momoa in the audience. It's like, I'm like, dude, nobody gives a fuck about you, dude. You just literally stole the thunder out from under, the last show ever, of Black Sabbath. You had to be the center of the attention, getting all the attention in the fucking show. Fucking douchebag. That's the problem with these douchebags, man. These Hollywood douchebags.
We had fucking Tool in the daylight. When's the last time Tool has played a daytime show?
I don't even think they know what the daylight is.
I don't either. But I think that's actually the only like pro shot footage of Tool available is from that concert. If you want to watch an actual multi-camera pro shot anything of Tool, that was it right there. So
that makes sense. Yeah.
I was kind of watching it after it all happened the other night, and I'm just sitting there and I'm like, wait a minute, like this is kind of a weird thought. Like Maynard, normally you don't fucking see him in the back, and he's all dressed up. He's got a hat on, this, that, and the third.
Yeah.
And he just looked like a regular dude. He wasn't being an asshole. I'm like, damn, dude, Black Sabbath got him to do this. Like that.
Well, you know what? You're in a different light there. Tool's usually the headliner. They're the big show, and they weren't, and they knew they weren't, and they were there paying homage and respect. And that's what I'm saying about this idiot in the audience. And then now all of a sudden everything focuses on this idiot moshing in the audience. Some fucking fake ass jackass who plays a fake person on TV ain't shit. And you got these great rock stars on stage, being overshadowed by some moron that dresses up in tights in a fucking movie. You know what I mean? Yes. It's pathetic, man. But you know what? That's the problem. Most people will go see Little Tight Boy and yank off to that on their fucking Netflix, then go see a live concert. Yeah. And that's the problem, man. No, you get most people sitting home, like I said, they don't want to get out of their houses anymore.
True.
And you know why? Philadelphia. There you go. That's why, man. So somebody said next year's fireworks is going to be called the Sounds of Philly, and that's their theme for next year. The Sounds of Philly.
Less money on it that way.
Well, it's just going to be the boom ones. They're not going to have any actual fucking anything that sounds like machine gun fire is all they're going to shoot.
That's all you need over there. Apparently,
unbelievable.
What the hell else was I going to say about that? That there was something else. Oh, our good buddy from the Dead Daisies, Tommy Clufetos, was Ozzy's drummer for that. His last show ever.
Oh, was he? I didn't know that. Was Tommy
behind the kit? Yeah.
Oh, Tommy's great too, man. What a good dude, man. Yeah, he's a good dude, man.
I had to check because I think Tommy's like he'd lost a little weight or something. Because at first I didn't recognize him, and I was looking it up, and it was like, it was Tommy Clufetos. I'm like, dude, that like barely looks like him, man.
I thought they were going to get what's his face? Fucking he played here with his Black Sabbath thing.
Oh, fucking Vinny Appice. Vinny.
Yeah, I thought they'd get. Honestly, I thought they'd get Vinny to do it.
Yeah, well, we've had how many of Ozzy's former drummers have played here? Jimmy DeAnda.
Yeah, quite a few.
Old boys. We had Tommy Clufetos, who is now his last drummer. I probably 3 or 4 of them, I guess. That's crazy to think. Like, hey, all these guys were Ozzy's.
Yeah, but I mean, of all, I mean, Vinny would have been the guy for me, though. I mean, he was with Black Sabbath back in the day, so
Yeah. So,
But
he
was probably busy.
Carmine was Ozzy's fucking drummer in his own original.
That's right.
Band, which is the craziest one to think of because that guy wrote, "If you like my body and you think I'm sexy," and he was Ozzy's drummer.
Every time you say Rod Stewart, all I think of is belly full, man. I'm like, that. I'm good. I'm good.
Okay, so that's I think that's 5 of Ozzy's former drummers have played here in one capacity or another. So.
Yeah, that's pretty insane when you think about it. And that's over. You got to understand too. This theater has stood in Vineland. It stood in Vineland for 85, 89 years, 80, whatever it is now. It's been going for a while. We had our 85th year a few years ago, but and only in the last 5 or 6 years since we've been here has all these great acts really come through. You had one here, one there, maybe in the past. There's like maybe 4 people that ever played here. You had Kansas one time played here, and you had what was the chick from
Foghat here at one point.
Foghat, which it's Foghat. Who the fuck's going to see that? But then what's her name? The fucking Broadway chick.
Bernadette Peters.
Bernadette Peters. I mean, that's what you're talking about. Yeah.
Whole reason we have a thrust on this stage.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. It's one of those things where it's like you look at it and you're like, all of a sudden, out of nowhere, now there's really been concerts, and now all of a sudden, COVID hits and nobody wants to go outside and do anything anymore. Like I said, even barbecues were down this year. I don't know if you saw that, but a lot of the grocery stores were selling. Where I saw a thing on the news today where they were talking about the grocery stores, like the normal sales of things they have, corn and hamburger meat and all that stuff was way down. And it has been down for the last 3 years. It's like people just aren't. I don't understand what's happening to society, and it's got to be. In all honesty, it's got to be shit like we're doing right here. We're part of the fucking problem. You know what I mean? Instead of getting the fuck out of your house, get the fuck out of your fucking house.
Turn this shit off and get out of here.
Go watch this wherever you go.
I would say go touch grass right now, but it's a little dark and wet.
Is it still raining?
Yeah.
You still got rain?
Pretty dark over here.
Is it?
Oh
wow!
I hear police going by now. So.
Oh no!
I wonder what that was.
Probably somebody hit the pole that's about to knock us off.
Yeah, right. Exactly. But
dude, I've said it a million times, man. If somehow they could drop something that would just wipe out the internet and we don't have the internet anymore, I think we go back to some good times in life again. So
it would be as somebody I'm probably the youngest generation that grew up still not having it. The entire time I grew up, basically, dude, I didn't have high-speed internet until I left for college. Like, I had to go move up to Boston in order to get high-speed internet, and it was
that's crazy,
craziest thing.
Yep.
I couldn't play Xbox Live. I couldn't do any of that shit.
I still remember sitting there with your phone, and you would dial your friend's number, and you'd both be on the phone. You say, "All right, you ready?" and go, and you would hit enter on your computer, and you would push the phone down into the thing, and it would sit there for like an hour. And you both would hit play on the tape deck that you had, your cassette tape deck, that would load the game you wanted to play, which when you were finally done and could play the game, you still had to leave the phone on the thing, and then it was nothing but words on the screen. There wasn't anything. And then your dad's like, I got to fucking up. Dad's home. Dude, I got to go. My dad's home. Boom,
was
you know what I mean?
The fucking, when you couldn't go on the internet because somebody had to make a phone call. Or like you had to stop what you were doing right away because somebody had to make a phone call.
Drive me nuts.
Oh my God. We ended up getting 2 phone lines. That was like the peak of our technology, was getting a second phone line put in just for the dial-up.
I think the worst thing was all the when online play first started, people had to pay. Yep. And you had to pay that phone bill. And I don't know of a household yet that somehow there wasn't a phone bill for like $500-$600 because Johnny was downstairs playing whatever the fuck game he was playing. Absolutely. And not realizing he was running up a $500 phone bill. It literally happened to like every family, man.
Yeah. Or when like torrenting and Napster and all that shit first began.
Oh yeah, man. Yep.
We were downloading shit, left and right, and I can only imagine what those charges would have been if we weren't on some sort of an unlimited plan, and it's just crazy to think about. Like, dude, that's how we used to do it, and now
you got to remember that back
knows
when
that.
that first came out and it was AOL and all that shit, there were no plans. I forget what there was one big game that came out, and it was almost like World of Warcraft. I don't think it was World of Warcraft. It was one
Starcraft?
before that. What was it?
StarCraft or Diablo?
No, it was like Baldur's Gate or something.
Baldur's Gate was another big one. Yeah.
It was one of the early ones that you had to be on the phone and you had to have the phone line, and it was dedicated, and it was like a long distance call. And man, it ran up phone bills like there was no tomorrow. AOL was doing it too. People would get on AOL
Yes.
and sit there all night on AOL chat and then get a $400 phone bill and be like, oh shit.
You're like,
You know
I
what I
wasn't
mean?
even on the phone. What are you talking about?
Yeah.
I was on the internet.
Oh, dude, AT&T had a ball, man. They had an absolute ball. They were raking in the bucks, man.
What the hell was that when Verizon came out with it? Was that DSL? I guess.
Oh, yeah.
It still
Yep.
ran through the phone line, but it was like it was 10 times as fast as dial-up.
Yep.
But even still, now, like if you looked at that was nothing, and we downloaded all this shit and we had all this stuff that ran on basically no connection, and now it's like, dude, we have gig speed and we can't even fucking keep it going. It's like, what the hell happened?
Do you have Jeremy on over there?
Yes, I see him down there.
Oh, you should bring their ass in, man.
Yeah. Let's see. Hold on.
So you want to give them an intro real quick? They are with Lilies of the Valley. Or Lilies of David. I keep thinking Lilies of the Valley. That was a movie, man. Like a really
fucking soap you have in the corner over there.
yeah. That's what I wash with, right?
Lily of the Valley for Bath and Body Works.
No, that was Lilies of the Valley was an old. It might even been a Hitchcock film. It was an old film.
I think so.
But Lilies of David, yeah. So let's it is the two main. There they are. There you go. That's the right one. Breaker, Twisted, and Lilies of David.
Yeah, on this one I got an update, but I think I can add this to that calendar.
Nice.
But I have I made a little promo for this show, so we'll play that and then we'll bring them right on in.
Let's bring them in because you can have Twisted in soon too.
Turn you down first. Here we go.
Dude, this is going to be a good show, man. That's the three great bands there. What's going on, girls and boys?
Yo.
How are you guys doing?
Good.
How are you?
Long time no see. Welcome to the Absolute Vodkas live at the Landis podcast here.
Right
What's going on, man?
Good to see you guys, man. Now, last time you guys played here, you did an acoustic bit, right?
Hell yeah.
Which kind of was an acoustic. I think you ended up with a drummer and a piano player, didn't you?
Cajon.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it was kind of anti acoustic.
Got all something extra for that one there.
We're like, yo, fuck the system, man.
Hell yeah. Well, look, it's good to see you. So Deidre and Jeremy, of course, we love you guys, man. I haven't seen you guys. Last time I saw you, you were here. That was it.
Yeah.
For the show, and you were trying to make her wear some stupid looking dress, and she finally chose the right one, and the show was a killer, man.
Yeah, that dress came on. It was.
Yeah. The whole show rode on that dress.
I'm not gonna lie, dude. Visually, it did.
Yeah, no, you're right.
It really did. It really did. It made the band really look good, man. And like I said, you guys are fan. I love you guys, man. I think you're doing the right thing. I think this is a good group you got together. I dig the music. I dig the vibe. Give me the name. Like, where'd you come up with the name? What's the meaning behind the name?
So I mean, we were always searching for a name, and
I can tell
there was like there were like 10 really bad ones. There were like a bunch of really bad ones before we came up with Lilies of David. Lilies of the Valley was actually one of them. But then I was like, I'm sick of, using the soap brand.
Yeah.
I'm just kidding, though. It wasn't ever Lilies of the Valley. But
Lilies of the Valley is actually a film. I can't remember. It's an old film, though.
Is it? When was it? When did it come out?
I don't know. I'm going to look it up right now. Go ahead. So where'd the name come from?
I don't know. So we were trying to decide on a name, and that I was reading. I don't remember what the heck I was reading, but I found out that lilies, meant music, and I think I like read some sort of passage where it was like lilies of period and then David, and I somehow connected them together and came up with a name because I thought it was really cool. So it was kind of like I smashed two things together, and I thought it flowed
Oh,
well,
okay.
fit kind of both of us because it's got like the masculine and feminine thing going on. So yeah, I think it just stuck with us and we started using it, and the band liked it. So
So she's the Lily and you're the David.
That's what everybody thinks. They think I'm Lily. Like, hey, Lily.
Oh, so nope. So the movie I'm thinking about was actually called Lily of the Valley. Yeah, it came out in 2020. Yes.
I think Lily of the Valley, isn't that the that's like the poisonous plant, right? Isn't it poisonous?
I do believe it is. Yeah, it was a 2020 drama. Yes, I remember it. It was a good film. It was one of those artsy films.
Yeah.
Isn't that a song in Secret Garden too?
What's that?
Isn't Lily of the Valley? Isn't that a Secret Garden song from the musical too?
It could be.
I feel like it was.
It might
I love
be.
that show,
Dude. You just skipped right over Lily of the Valley. You could have had all these great like stories behind it.
I know. Maybe that'll be our first album.
See, whenever you say David, first thing, I don't know, for me, the first thing that comes to my mind is like David and Goliath, man. I just think, bam, it's like this.
Damn,
I don't know.
It's. I just did the same thing you did, but in musical form. So it's the big song is Lily's Eyes because that's her name is Lily's Eyes.
Oh, there you go.
It was The Girl in the Valley was the actual song that they sang in the valley, but I thought it was Lily of the Valley. So I think the name's open. I don't know.
That's funny you said that though too, like David and Goliath, because that's where I believe it came from. Like that's probably some of my Catholic roots coming up out of me is because it's, King David, which was the David and Goliath story, was a musician as well, and so
that's
I think
right.
that's where I got it was like lilies of whatever I was reading, and it said David because King David was a musician, so lilies meant like song or melody or something. So I think I combined the two like that. Yeah.
Yeah, well, that makes more sense. See, use that story next time.
Okay.
Let's rewind this interview. Let's go back. Hey, so where did you get the name of this band?
Yeah.
So look, it's funny because I see you guys doing a lot of stuff. I see a lot of stuff online. You guys are playing a lot of places. It seems like you're doing good. I mean, I know. Deidre, you were doing like some kind of like dental or doctor stuff or something, weren't you?
I'm a nurse now.
Is that what it is? You're a nurse? Are you still nursing?
I am.
Well, I mean, not nursing, but nursing.
She's
I
nursing.
was actually on July 4th, I worked at a nurse shift, and then after work, I went to Asbury, and we got to play. So it was kind of fun.
Oh, that's kind of cool.
We, like in two completely different roles.
Hey, baby.
Yeah, that's it.
In one day.
Very far apart.
Yeah, but that's cool because that's the two things you love in one day. You know what I mean? That's actually kind of cool.
Yeah, it was definitely a jam-packed day.
You should have shown up in your nurse's uniform and said, "Look, dude, I'm just going for it." Yeah, then you would have said, "Forget the dress. I got the nurse's outfit, man."
I'll just wear my scrubs if
wear the
anybody needs help.
What about you, Jeremy? What else are you doing? You still doing any shows and stuff? Still working on that Atlantic City thing?
Yeah, I mean, we got the AC Theater Company still. We have we're doing Forever Plaid. That's coming up
Love that show.
September. Yeah, the managing director loves it. He's going to be in it and directing.
That's a great show.
Yeah. It's fun. I think it's good for Atlantic City too.
Oh, absolutely.
So we got that coming up in September. Then for me, I'm producing music full time, including our stuff, and then other artists, and then just when I can, I pick up shifts bartending. So that's
Nice.
extra income.
Nice. So you making a good dirty martini or no?
I make the best.
Yeah, I bet.
We've all age dedicated to it.
I was gonna say, did you watch the reviews?
Hell yes.
Yeah.
Absolutely, man. Till you, Deidre, close your ears for a second. Till you get you're not Deidre. You don't close your ears. It's her. No, you got to get the real dirty martini where an old Mexican guy dips his balls in it. Then you're like, that's dirty, baby.
That's how Dirty Martinez.
I've never heard that.
Fucking dirty martini, baby. You was the last time you been to Mexico?
Never.
Never ask for a dirty martini in Mexico. Never.
Is that what happened to you?
Yeah, it gets dirty and you don't get any olives.
Oh no.
Especially blue cheese olives. Oh, forget that.
Ray's been hooked ever since.
Dude, the only olive I will eat is a blue cheese olive.
You're so good.
I do not like olives. I like blue cheese olives, though.
Do you still have do you have the bar still attached to the Landis, right?
Yes. Well, yep. The upstairs we call 830 East now, and the downstairs is becoming a brewery if the approvals ever go through.
Yeah.
Still waiting.
I'll have to
We
get
could-
a there.
No, you don't want one there.
Oh,
It's a club. It's a club. It's a club now more than it is it's more than it is a bar. Back in the day, I would have told you we had a couple bartenders that make a hell of a martini. They made. I'm more of an old fashioned guy, and they definitely made one hell of an old fashioned.
Yeah.
But now it's like club drinks, man. You know, we have drinks named after like the Riz and stupid words that should not exist in the fucking dictionary. You
There
know,
are
the
no
twerk
classes
jerker.
anywhere.
Yeah.
Everything.
I
is
do.
plastic.
I'll do everything. So just talk about your music now, man. What I guess I don't know how would you define the style of music that you guys are creating?
Yeah, I mean that's definitely a good question.
Aw.
I would say if
Alternative.
anything, yeah, alternative pop, maybe like alt pop. But we go into the
We genre bend a little bit for sure.
Definitely.
Well, that's how I feel. I feel like there's a difference here. Like I don't look at like what I've seen you do wouldn't be alt pop to me.
No, I think to really answer the question, it depends on the song we're releasing because we dive into so many different genres just because it's whatever we like at that moment. Like I don't like to be confined to a genre, but if I had to say for the band, it's like some sort of alternative thing, and there's pop roots for sure. But we go into many different genres. We had a bossa nova style track. We have just a classic pop song that's coming out soon. We have rock songs. Like we're kind of all over the place in terms of what we write.
Now, do you have is there any like a Spotify or any place that people can go to listen to your music?
Yeah. We have Spotify. We have a website, liliesofdavid.org.
Is that what it is? Liliesofdavid.org?
Yeah.
And then you got what is your Spotify Lilies of David as well?
Yep. Everything's
cool.
Lilies of David. TikTok, Instagram, all of that. Yep.
Yeah, I would tell people to definitely check you out. I would come see you live because I thought you guys put on a hell of a good show. You got a great sound. I mean, the vocals, of course, between the two of you are great. So that makes it right there, and you got a great band behind you. But I would tell people, there it is, liliesofdavid.org up on the screen there. Steve is fast and furious, baby.
1L, correct?
Yes. You didn't put Lilies of the Valley, so you're good.
There's a lot of talk, but I had to make sure. I was like, wait, fuck, did I just...
But I would definitely tell people to go online and check out your music and give it a download and a listen because I think they're really going to love it, man. And I'm glad. Thank you, guys. Oh, my God. Look at the pudding cat. What's the cat's name?
Marvin.
Marvin. That's the coolest fucking cat's name I've ever heard.
Yeah, right?
No, Marvin the Martian was like my favorite Bugs Bunny character. So, dude, that is so cool.
Yeah. It's a new
I got
nickname for him.
my three greyhounds over here. They're laying on the couches in the back here, but they are scared to death because there's fireworks going on. So, as we like to call them, we don't call them fireworks anymore. We call them the sounds of Philly. They're going on outside. So,
Hey, you were gonna like that one.
pow, 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 bang, bang. But yeah, no, that's awesome, dude. I'm so glad to have you guys, man. But thank you again for coming on because I was the first people I thought of. The second, we needed because this is more of it was the idea behind this weekend was original bands with a female lead. And look at Steve; he wants to be center of attention again.
He's the lead.
What happened, Andy?
Yeah, we're looking for that female front, and I don't think I could have asked for a better group to come in and fill that void. Yeah.
Yeah.
No, we're excited. I'm excited because, like I said, I loved you guys last time, and you've got new music out now. You guys have been going. All I can see is the cat back there walking around.
I know. You hear me out.
Marvin, You shot Marvin in the face.
Tell him,
man.
he's a trouble. That cat, he's a troublemaker.
Just don't shoot Marvin in the face, whatever you do.
Show.
Then you have to take him to a storage facility. For anyone who's seen that movie.
For anyone.
Yes. But look, man, I dude, because we got the other band, Twisted, is going to come on too, and those guys are great too. So, and they're releasing like new music. Like, dude, it seems like every month they got a new song coming out.
Yeah.
Their one song is our theme song for the Absolute Vodka podcast.
Oh, sick.
Oh.
Yeah, they're great, man. They really are. They're three kids. The guitar player is the one I like the most. I mean, he's just killer, man. This kid can play, man.
Right now, I can see that.
Dude, that kid can rock, man. He's ridiculous, dude. He is so good, man.
Is that the Philly band? Or there's one from Philly, right?
That's I think the good. Steve.
Ooh. Actually, that's a good question. No, the Twisted, they're from New Jersey, right?
I believe so. Yeah.
No, they're not. They're shaking their
They're
heads.
not. Oh, they're from Philly.
Are you from Philly? Yes, they are. That's it.
Oh,
They're from Los Angeles. They're flying in for this one.
Newfoundland, Canada. Twisted.
They can stay in my spare room.
Yeah, and Uncle Steve's living room.
We'll leave them to the dogs, right, girls? Right, girls? Yeah, they're all over there going fireworks. Holy shit! I just throw Benadryl at them. They're like, they literally beg me for the Benadryl now. It's insanity.
Jeez.
But no, man. I'm so glad to have you guys on. Again, it's liliesofdavid.org to check you guys out online, or Lilies of David on Spotify. Now, do you guys have any? Do you have any? Have you pressed anything? Put any music actually out on CDs or anything yet?
I would love to.
Yeah, we haven't done any like
Vinyl.
any vinyl or anything, but that's on our list for merch. We want to get some vinyl going.
Yeah, dude, I'm a big vinyl guy. I don't know if you know, I got a lot of vinyl, and then we hang all the vinyl in our in our blue room back there. Well, the green room, we call it the blue room because it's blue.
Nice.
But yeah, I hang on the vinyl. So any band that comes in, if you guys did a vinyl, you got to sign one, send it. We'll put it up, man.
Yeah, we'll get you one.
Oh, hell yeah.
We have the album coming out in November because all these we've just been releasing singles every month. But we got that one coming out in November, so we'll probably do a vinyl for that. We'll send it over to you guys.
You got to do one, man. And you could do one at what's that place over there in over by Cherry Hill, Disc Makers.
Oh yeah.
Disc Maker. They'll do one cheap for you, man. They'll do a decent vinyl for you, and they'll print them like on demand. They'll do like 20 to 100, man.
Oh, that's
you don't have to. Yeah. They're they get cheaper, of course, the more you buy at one time, but.
Yeah.
At least you can get some out, and get them out there. It's always worth it, man. And look, man, when you go to anybody now buying a vinyl, they're asking for $30 for the damn thing anyway.
I know.
So
30.
as long as as long as you get your money back for it, that's the big thing is getting your money. The problem with a lot of merch, and I tell a lot of people, if you're trying to make money off merch, that's not what merch is for. Your merch is there to make your money back and get your name out. Yeah, I mean, you want people to hold the album. You want people to wear your T-shirt. You want them to have your bumper sticker. You don't want to, buy bumper stickers for 10 cents and sell them for $5. That's not the idea. Merch is there to promote the band more than anything. You want people to be down the shore seeing a Lilies of David shirt and going, yo, dude, what's that? And maybe I tell everybody now with this craziness that has become the internet world, put a QR code on everything, man. Like we even did it. We did it on our shirts for the restaurant for our menu. There's the menu right there. It was literally on the sleeve. So the QR code is so important. And just, if anything, do business cards with your Spotify and just say, yo, here's a QR code to get to our Spotify,
Yeah,
True.
definitely.
Yeah,
Or
definitely
like
get.
guitar picks or something.
Yeah, that's actually cool. I don't know if you can get it. Can you get one small enough on a guitar pick?
I haven't seen a
Yeah, they have
QR
them.
code
You can
yet.
put like a little code on there, it connects you to Spotify.
Really?
Sweet.
Yeah.
That's
cool.
cool as shit.
I'll come out
Yeah.
in the audience, man.
Dude, they have all kinds of things. You can wear a bracelet now on your arm and tap somebody's phone with it and give them all your information and shit. I mean, they have the weirdest shit now. It's like,
Yeah.
I'm still Mr. Here's my paper business card.
NFC business
Take
cards.
it.
That was
Yeah.
the craziest. That guy Blake had one, the one liquor rep, and he was like, "Yeah, here you go." And I was like, "Oh, dude, this is like a really nice card." He's like, "Yeah, you can't have it. Like, I carry that around with me." He tapped his into it.
Yeah,
And I'm
yeah.
like, "Oh shit, I thought you were giving it to me." It was
Yeah,
like a metal
yeah.
card. It looked cool as shit. And I was like how much does this cost for like 100 of these things? And he's like, oh no, you buy one, tap your phone. I'm like, oh shit, I feel.
Dude, there was a time in my life when I thought I was cool, and I got into I first got into the Writers Guild, and I bought metal business cards.
Yeah.
And first of all, you can only carry like a couple around because your pants are falling down. So if somebody wants the card, then you give it to him, and he's like, you're like, yeah, that's my business
definitely
card
not
right there,
that
buddy.
practical. But yeah, dude, he
that's
handed
my
it to me, and I'm like,
business
holy
card.
shit, like this thing's got some weight. I felt like I was in American Psycho. Like,
Yeah.
oh man, it's kind of good.
Well, no, that's what you do. You sharpen them up and you throw those suckers, man. That's what they're for, man. You got to toss those fuckers, man. They're ninja weapons, man. Ninja weapons. Well, you want to? We're going to let you guys go. We're going to bring the Twisted guys on because they have a rehearsal they got to get to. So I want to bring those guys on and say hi to them too.
Sick.
So good seeing you. We will see you here Saturday. Load-ins around 3:00. You guys get here whenever you want, and we will get you on the stage and ready. I can't wait, man. It's gonna be a good show. I'm excited to see the two of you because you're both of you, especially you, Jeremy. You're family to us, man. We love you like you're a brother. So we're always here for you and anything you ever need. And as this band progresses, you always have a stage with us, and whenever we can get you on. And look, you got to remember too. If you ever see a show and you're like, yo, man, maybe we can get on that show, let us know.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, we'll get you guys up there. We want to get you seen. We want to get people, getting you out there, get that music out there because it's really good music. You guys are doing a great job, man. You really are.
Thank you. I appreciate it, guys. Yeah.
Absolutely. Well, kudos, guys. We love you, man, and we will see you on Saturday.
Love you, brother. See you later.
Goodbye, Marvin, wherever he is back there. Take care, love. Take care, guys. Jeremy, I'll see you soon, my brother.
See you, brother.
Be good, buddy. Hell yeah, man. Lilies of David.
Yes, dude.
Yes.
I'm excited for them. They're
Yeah, I am too. They're a great band, man. They're a phenomenal band. They're so good together. Such a great band. So we have the Twisted Peeps is on.
Yes, I see them. They were answering in the background when we were giving out misinformation about their band.
Oh no!
So I am going to bring them on. You know what? I'm going to play. Let's do that promo again.
Let's show their. They look great in that promo.
Yeah, that was a good video. That's I believe that's their newest song. Let's see. Do I get a thumbs up? I believe that was like their newest video that I found. So, Undertow.
Is it?
Yeah, seeing it. I'm just talking to them backstage. It's great.
Oh, nice.
Yes, I used their newest music video to do that. So I'll play it again, and I'm going to go try to figure out why it is all of a sudden like 85 degrees over here, and I'm dying. So
it is probably the heat from outside.
It was just freezing in here. Not too.
No, I'm talking about the humidity. You get that humidity when it rains.
Yeah, so I'm going to go real quick, take a look at that, and play this promo again.
Hell yeah, let's see it. There they are, the three amigos. Logan, what is up, my brother?
What's up, bro? How you feeling?
It's okay,
I
Ray.
love you, dude, man. Yeah, you guys can. You guys can do me a favor. Just move over a little so I can see more Logan. No, you girls are too beautiful. We love you. You know that. We love all of you, man. And like I said, your song is our theme song. We love you guys, man. We absolutely do. It's been a while since you've been on the stage. And I can tell you, man, all I keep seeing is songs dropping. How much do you have like an album yet? A CD or anything?
Not yet.
Not yet. Just
No.
single after single.
Yeah, that's how we're rolling with it right now.
Mhm.
So
You have to be getting close to have enough.
Yeah, you got to have like 2 albums by now. You're like
Music videos to go with all of them. Like you guys are content machines.
Yeah.
thank you.
Yeah,
We're
thank
doing
you,
our
thank
best. Every song is, we're trying to promo as much as we can, reach as many audiences as we can. So I feel like the best way to do that is pump out content.
You can meech them too. Meeching and reaching, whatever you want to do. Yeah.
Meet them.
Yeah.
Reach them. Yeah.
No, but I got to tell you, man, you guys got a great sound. You after the first time I'd ever seen Twisted, of course, you coming on board with vocals has made this group probably one of my favorite groups that play here, and of the original groups that we have, which is why I wanted to make sure, if we're going to highlight, local bands on stage during the summer, I wanted to make sure you guys were in one of these nights, and I think we even moved something for you too, because I wanted you guys to be a part of it, because I really think you guys got something. You got a great sound. You're a great group, and like I said, I think Logan is one of those like young prodigies of guitar. I think as he gets older and as he gets better, he's just going to get better and better and better, and that's what the world's missing. Great guitar players, that are writing their own material and really not playing chords. Power chords, because we got into a lot of bands. We're just power chording it, and we're talking about the Warped Tour. I mean, you look through that, there's a lot of 4-chord bands there. You know what I mean? There's a couple good bands, and you got those key bands that were the leaders of those tours and stuff, man. That they were the ones doing the guitar tricks and doing the music and having the drums rock, having the right voice up front. And all those other bands were 4-chord bands, man. And they had one hit, broke up, and now they're coming back to play with another band playing their old music.
You tour with 4 bands.
Yes, that's what we have going on here. But so tell us, man. So what have you guys been up to, music wise? What are you working on? Something else? Didn't you just drop a new song?
Yeah, we just dropped Undertow. We put out a music video for that one.
I don't even know, when did we drop that? It feels like a little bit ago now.
Was it over a month?
Yeah.
I feel like it's been about a month or so ago you dropped it. Yep.
That was about a month. We're currently teasing a new song right now. So that one's coming out at the end of the month, which will be exciting.
Yep, the pre-save is available on Friday. We'll be posting the link for that. Have some content that we set up for that too that's coming out, because we've got to meet as many audiences as we can.
Yes, gotta meet him, baby.
Gotta meet him.
Yeah, you gotta keep doing the Logan driving up in a car going, guess what's coming, guys?
I know.
I'll never forget it, man. It was the most embarrassing moment of your life. I don't know who talked you into that.
That was pulling my eyes.
Listen, Logan, I love you, man. Do not listen to the girls in the band. Do your thing. When they say, Logan, put on this dress and pretend that the new song's coming, say no. I refuse to do that.
You're telling me you wouldn't watch a video if Logan was in a dress? Would you scroll past it, or you would watch what's going on, right?
Logan is my favorite manly man guitar player that destroys.
You think Logan's 5'6"?
Yes, exactly.
Oh, he's 5'7".
That makes me much more manly.
He's 5'7" and 3/8. You get it right.
Okay, Trevor.
You go, baby. You go. Those guns out.
Yeah. Sarah probably benches more.
Probably.
Yeah, I love it, man. I love you. Look, I love you guys. So let me tell us about Undertow. Like, who wrote it? What's it about? Give us a little background on the new song.
Yep. So we did Undertow in our studio sesh back in November of last year. We wrote it. All 3 of us were in the studio with our producer Kyle Odell, and we also had Blair Daly come in from I think 4 Horsemen.
Yeah.
He does a lot. He works with a lot of cool people on songwriting. It was a big collaboration, just kind of coming together with a theme about. We try to follow a pretty good trend in our song themes, I guess. Just not letting people get to you, toxic people, and kind of cutting them out. So Undertow is kind of about getting rid of the bad in your life and the people who are trying to bring you down and cutting them off, and being your own person. So that was the theme we kind of wanted to go to. And Kyle and Blair helped us find that vision with the song. And from there
I think that song was cool because we obviously all wrote it together and it started that way. And then it was kind of our first time really like bringing someone else in and getting their opinion.
Yeah.
So having Blair help us and Kyle and just like all of us working together was interesting just to see how everyone worked together. And
that's our big first.
That was
our first big like co-write.
Yeah, bringing somebody from outside of the studio in to what was going on in there. And it was cool. It was like almost validating in a way. Like I don't know. It felt like
I feel like you guys are about to have your Beatles moment.
You
Listen
think?
to me. Listen to me. The Beatles used to write songs like Hold My Hand, all this outside stuff about all the people bothering you and all the people in your life. And then they got inside. And then they realized it's really not those people that are the problem. It's me. I put myself around those people. I gave this to myself. I took this acid, and that is a cool moon. You know what I mean? That's what. So, you know what I'm saying? I feel like because a lot of your songs are like you just said, they're all about the things people bringing you down. All that. When you get inside and you start writing that shit, you guys are going to be really good. I like you now, but start looking inside, man, because that's where the real monster is. The real monster's in your head, man.
I think
I'm gonna say it.
Do a bunch of acid and then
Yeah.
No, don't do acid. Don't do acid. Don't do acid. Just look around at the stuff that you're talking about and find within you why it's even in your life to begin with. Like who's letting that in? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Why are you
Yeah, I think
if acid helps, do it, but I did not say that.
I think we explored that theme a little bit with Dark Thoughts. But I feel like the songs that we did down in Nashville this last time around kind of branch out into different aspects of it. Like you said, this next song, you think I have to like think about the lyrics in my head because they're not coming to me right now. But I think that I'm singing them. I'm singing them. Yeah. No, I feel like they come from like empowering. Like the lyrics are usually not necessarily other people bringing you down, but finding it within yourself to be a better person or rise above what you're kind of
rise above. That's what Jesse Jackson says. Rise above.
Oh, really?
Rise
I didn't. Well, you know what? There you go. That's what Kayla Hallman said. Now.
Well, Jesse's like 72, so he probably said it first.
Okay. Well, you didn't have to go there, but.
But no, man. So what else? So you got a new song that's coming out. Tell me about that. That's coming out soon, or you're recording that now? Or are you still working on it?
Yeah, we recorded that again back last year in Nashville in November. We recorded a big batch of songs, so we've been slow releasing them all out, and then that one's the next in line. So I'll just announce the date here.
Okay, I thought.
It'll be coming out July 25th. So
no, it's right a couple weeks away.
Yeah, so it is totally finished and everything. And
yes.
We've started teasing it. Just
nice.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So did you put together a music video for it?
This one won't have a music video. We went to a studio and filmed like little short clips and reels and stuff for Instagram. But the next song coming out will have a music video. So.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Well, look, man, nowadays it's, believe it or not, MTV is going back to playing nothing but music for 1 week. I mean, they're literally trying to go backwards because, music videos, believe it or not, are starting to get a little pickup again. I mean, a lot of people are really like watching them. They kind of lost, music videos lost their flavor when MP3s first started coming around because digital music was in your ear and all this stuff. And, you had I don't know if you remember the original iPods, but, there was nothing. When they first came out with the first one with a screen where you could watch anything, it was like, watching a matchbook like light up and go, burn out. It was horrible. But now with the advent of these new cell phones and these great 4K screens, you can really see good videos. So a lot of people are moving to, I mean, I know it's completely illegal, but one of the big things they sell, and it's a TikTok and an Instagram thing, is so you can videos in your car while you're driving on that screen. It's supposed to be telling you where you're going.
I've been getting that ad like literally just yesterday. Getting that ad, and it was the exact make and model of my car. And
no, they know. They know. Yeah,
they really.
They know.
Like, and I did save it just in case, but
Oh, I saved it too, but I'm like, dude, I know me. I don't need to hit a tree. I'm good. I always usually have my dogs, so I got to drive safe. Exactly. I literally bought a minivan. Now, mind you, it is a minivan that is loaded with like everything you could possibly get that's cool in a minivan. Even has its like internal vacuum cleaner and everything. But I have 3 Greyhound dogs, and they are big dogs, and they need room. So they daddy bought them a van so they can drive around in comfort. So
You gotta
So
have
lucky.
you gotta have movies and TV and music videos on for them. So
not for them, man. That I do. You know what it's called? Rolling down the window and letting them stick their head out. And they are happy as pigs. You know, that's all they care about. That all the windows go down. And they like to go through the car wash.
Show network.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah,
very
the
nice.
car wash. Yes.
There must be a dog because I love having my head out the window and going through car washes. So
Well, yeah, hey, you got to meet what's there, babe. You got to
gotta meet it,
meet.
I say.
So what else you guys got going? Come on, tell us what else you're doing. What else are you doing? Are you just playing music? Are you working anywhere? Doing anything else? What are you doing?
Well, we have a couple cool announcements this week. Well, like one of them was that Kingdom, our new song, is coming out the 25th.
There he goes.
Just give it all away. Why
We
not?
haven't even said the name yet.
Okay, well,
It's
there it
fine.
is.
There you guys go.
We also just signed with a management company a couple days ago. Which
Good.
which we're announcing tomorrow, which
Yep.
we're excited about.
So
Nice.
We have our song Undertows being played on Sirius XM Octane, which is very cool.
Yep.
That's awesome.
Yeah, so that was a huge thing recently.
mhm.
And I listen to Octane, so that's good. That's one of the 5 ones that are saved on my. That's one of the 5 I saved.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
So I love Octane. That's actually one of the best stations on there, to be honest with you.
I don't have many others.
Yeah.
No.
It was awesome. We've been on there for a while now, honestly.
Yeah,
So
a few months now.
I'm waiting for our one-liners to go up.
Oh yeah.
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 We-
Nice.
But,
That's good.
Yeah.
And then, even, what was it, Pandora said something to us about getting a lot of streams on there.
Oh yeah. Apparently we're doing very good on Pandora Music, which we didn't know.
Yeah,
so.
I didn't know that.
That's my one dog's name, Pandora.
There you go.
Nice.
Yeah. She's sitting over there shaking from the firecrackers.
Oh.
No, she's actually asleep now. She's doing good. She's on the couch over there asleep, so she's doing
Okay.
good.
Yeah, we had some thunder over here for a little bit.
Yeah.
But some flooding going on.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, again, God bless, man. Just be careful. Like, again, we'll just say some prayers to those people in Texas, man. That was pretty bad. You know,
Yeah.
Yeah,
a lot of. I heard today 30 kids have lost their lives there because of the flooding. That they were camping. They were in a campground.
Ugh,
It's so sad. It really is. It's such a sad thing. Such a sad thing. Do never take Mother Nature for granted, man. You get
Yeah.
those warnings on your phone. Think about it, man, because you're driving in your car and something floods and you're stuck, man. Let me tell you.
Yeah.
You
saw
got to
that
be
whole
careful, man.
up here too. You showed
Yeah,
a
near my
picture.
house. Yeah. the whole
Yeah,
house.
you got to be careful, man. Don't ever drive through it either. Just wait it out or go another way. Because
Yeah.
the last thing you want to do is get bog your engine down and get stuck in it. So.
Yeah.
It's just heed those warnings. Well, dude, I'm looking forward to this new song. Now, are you playing this song this weekend? Are you going to even play it live? Or are you not even playing it?
Not yet.
We have a release show scheduled, so the day our song comes out, we're doing a release show at a music school. Both of us grew up at it, so that'll be very cool. But
Well, what music school is it?
it's called Let There Be Rock School on McDade Boulevard in Ridley.
Really?
Nice.
Yes,
Awesome.
that'll be our first
Well, look-
time seeing it live.
Yeah.
I know, like I said, I remember you guys from day one, man, when you were first playing music, and I'm glad to see where you are now. It really does. It makes me happy. And
thank
Logan, as long as you keep playing guitar with them, they'll be a great band, man. No, I really do, man. I like a good guitar player, and that's kind of my shtick. And Alfred says Kayla.
Hey, buddy. Me and Buddy
That's
used
awesome.
to play in a band together.
Well, now tell him now you're in a real band.
No. Everybody
No, you're in a great band now. I'm sure whatever you did before was good too. But you're where you belong now. You really are. You guys make a good team
You can
together.
never leave now.
Yeah.
I actually signed a contract in blood when I joined them, so
You should have. You definitely should have because it's worth it.
Way to
But look, you got
me under
you
the
got a
table.
great drummer. You got an amazing guitar player, and you got great vocals. And Twisted is definitely a band that I personally, we love you. I mean, we literally love you here. So you always have a home here. Wherever we go, if Steve and I end up, going out to the deserts of California out there in Utah and opening up our outdoor venue, you could be the first band to play.
Sounds
Oh,
good.
Yeah, you might have to,
Space themed or some shit. But
yeah, you might have to stand on a rock or something.
pallets under our river.
Who knows? We'll give you a microphone.
That'd be good for content videos.
Yeah, content
Yeah.
video.
It would be. See, there you go. It will be the first. Will be the first rock venue in Joshua Tree. Like,
Yes.
and we're going to be right around the Joshua, which is literally going to be the center, and we're going to light it on fire every night.
Not much to light on fire. Do rocks catch
No,
fire?
not really. It'll look
The whole
cool.
Joshua Tree thing. There's not a lot of them. You know, you go out there, you think, holy shit.
Well, we got to get one that's reburnable. We got to make it out of steel or something. I don't
They're
know.
really sparse. I was kind of shocked at how few there were out there for a town that's named after them. So.
Exactly. Well, look, guys, I love you guys. I cannot wait to see you guys this weekend. It's going to be a lot of fun. It's going to be a good show. You know, we'll give you all the lights and blow the whistles and all that stuff. So, you know, make sure you take some cool video and plug it
Sounds
around.
good.
And the same as, you know, the two that were on before, you know, we've known them for many years. You know, Jeremy has been in some shows that I directed and stuff, Broadway shows that we did. But you know, I love that guy to death. Just like him, you guys are family, man. If you ever need anything, you ever need a place to play, a place to shoot a video, whatever, you just let us know. All right. You always got a home with us. Okay.
Yeah, I love you guys.
All right. Love you guys too. Look, have a good night. Have a good week. Be safe in this crazy weather that's going on. And we will see you Saturday night for LandisFest 1. And you are Kaylee, you're our front girl for this band. So every band has got a front woman. It's all girls rock original bands, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're excited.
Yeah, we thought Logan was gonna be the front
We'll
woman.
have to find out if I show up.
Logan, don't take that stuff, bro. Logan, don't do it, man.
That's
I
right.
love you too much, man. Don't do it.
He's gonna look. Let's just say he's gonna look really beautiful on Saturday.
Oh no, Logan, don't let him do it. Don't. No. I've seen poodles go through that and they're never the same.
Oh no. Well, Logan's
Poodle of the
he's almost a poodle, so.
Dude, do not let them beat you down and take your manhood.
Oh,
Logan, what you got to do right now when this interview is done, you need to go outside and just chop some wood.
I would like to do that.
All right, guys. Look, have a good night. We love you, man, and we will see you on Saturday. See you soon, guys.
See ya.
Bye, guys.
Bye.
There it is, man. That is Twisted, man. 3 amazing musicians.
Hell
Oh,
yeah.
excuse me. I got a friggin' a Fig Newton in my throat.
Oh no, they'll get you.
We got Breaker, Twisted backing it up, and then Lilies of David opening the show, man. It's gonna be a really good show. I'm excited, man. You got 3 really good bands, man. And you know, I want to. The idea behind this is giving the Landis audience, the people that come out all the time to see our shows, a chance to come out and see some really good new local music. People are creating it, you know, within the confines of, you know, the tri-state area, you know, and it gives these kids and these, you know, some of them are adults, but it gives them a chance to get out there and maybe find some more fans, you know. That's our hopes for it.
Had them here so many times, we're gonna have to stop calling them kids soon.
Yeah. Well, they're not, I think what's her name? The drummer isn't she the youngest? I think Kayla's the oldest. Yeah. They're getting there.
They're getting there.
They're almost old enough to do
Like
the
2
acid.
more times to play, you know.
Yeah,
They'll be all right.
they're almost at acid age.
Hey Siri, when were the Beatles on acid?
Yes. When did the Beatles first do acid?
They first tried it in 1965, courtesy of the dentist.
Wait, what was what? Ask him what Beatles album came out in 1966. That's what matters most.
Holy shit! Damn, yeah. It was through a dentist. Bob
Wait,
Dylan
a
got him
dentist?
into weed.
Wait,
Yeah.
a dentist gave Beatles what?
Yes, so it was. So let's see. Famously, Bob Dylan properly introduced them to pot in a New York hotel room in 1964. That was the first time they got truly stoned. Like, go figure, with Bob Dylan of all people.
What?
Yeah, man, come on down.
Well, I don't know. Well, Bob Dylan had a lot of issues going on, so I look.
feel like
I give
Dylan
Bob
was a-
Dylan that credit for writing a lot of really good lyrics. He
Yeah.
should have just been the guy who wrote them for someone else.
Yeah.
Look, I even tried to watch that movie. I got 15 minutes into it. I'm like, I can't watch this shit. This is horrible.
Let's see.
I think the worst show we ever had, the least attended show we had at the Landis was a Bob Dylan show.
Yes, I think you're right.
Yes.
Yeah, so that was 19.
Sadly enough, it was the guy's parents and wife that showed up.
And then Sergeant Pepper.
Look, Sergeant Pepper's a little trippy, man. If you listen to the real Beatles album, you don't like the film was. I love the film because, look, it just had some great, Bee Gees in it and all that stuff. Aerosmith was in it. It was a cool film. It was a lot of fun. But when you listen to the actual Beatles album of it, it's a lot more, a little more trippier than the film, which is what a lot of people look at when they think Sergeant Pepper's.
Create the Mellotron for that? Wasn't that like the actual fucking
Something like that? Yes,
I feel like that
they
was
did
the
something
first
for it.
instrument that was ever used, and I think they made it.
The problem, what happened with that is Aerosmith did their Come Together, their version of Come Together, and it just,
Guess
and
which
then
album?
you never heard the Beatles version again.
was Revolver. Was the
Oh,
first
really?
album after Acid.
Which makes sense.
Yep,
Which makes sense.
And
Because
they
before
had the
that,
history tour.
yeah. Because before that, it was I Want to Hold Your Hand.
Help was the last album before that. Help and Rubber Soul.
Help!
was
I
65.
need somebody to somewhere under the sea. What the hell was that fucking one song? The Walrus and the
I'm
Eggman.
Walrus, yeah. Actually, Revolver is my favorite Beatles album for sure.
That is hilarious, man.
Eleanor Rigby, man, it's a great song. I don't really.
I
like
did
a lot
see
of it.
Melissa Schill was on there too. I just noticed she went by. I love her, man. She's great, man. Her Alanis Morissette was really good, man.
Yes, they were fantastic. They were a great time.
Yeah, I can't wait to see them again. They did a great job, man. Yeah, there you go, Renee. Look, I don't see any reason not to bring them back. I think they'd be a lot of fun. They did. I thought that was a great show. She really did a good job.
And they did
Yep.
just enough songs from the musical too, which I thought was pretty cool.
Yes, yeah.
That was a show that didn't really do all that well on Broadway.
Not at all.
I don't know that was because like the music was bad, because it's all fucking Alanis Morissette songs and they were all good. Like the cast recording's great, but
The only musical that ever did good on Broadway was the one we despise, but it did great, was Mamma Mia.
Yeah.
I mean, when you take a band and you take their music, ABBA's Mamma Mia, and look, it's because everyone knows every single one of those songs. If you ever been to a wedding, you ever been to any type of whatever, you're going to hear some ABBA music. It's what the
really
DJs play.
Surprised there's not
Yeah.
a second Mamma Mia musical. Yeah, at this point.
Well, wasn't there like 3 movies?
Yeah, that's what I mean. As soon as that like second and third movie kind of came out and did just as good as the first one.
Well, you got to remember though, they
would've
burst the
fucking
bubble. They
forget that.
used every ABBA song in the first movie. I mean, what the hell ABBA songs are left?
I was thinking that the other day.
They're the big ones. They're their big hits.
I never watched the second of it. I didn't even watch the first one. But so what can I really say? I'm not the authority on that. But it's crazy to think that now that we're kind of talking about that, it's what was it, Benny Anderson and Bjorn Ulfsen or whoever it is, the two dudes from ABBA?
Yeah.
Like fucking Chess. Like Chess is one of my favorite musicals by far.
Yeah.
And I would have never known that was written by the guy from ABBA.
Yeah, they did a lot of that. They scored movies too.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
They
Yep.
were I would assume they're the true musicians in that group.
I'd say if you go back and watch their first appearance on Saturday Night Live back in, I guess it was the 60s, probably late 60s, early 70s, and it's one of the funniest things you ever saw because they tried to they tried to create the band and the host and the show in one. So they had the band playing on a boat, and while the band's playing, they were rocking the camera. They kept showing the guest host, making fun of stuff at a bar. It's like they totally ruined ABBA's entire set by destroying it with the host and trying to do stupid shit. Yes. So, but look, again, they had those hits that you know, but when it came to Alanis Morissette and doing her music, it just none. Look, man, even and we did Green Day's American Idiot. You know, American Idiot. The only good thing is the music. There's no show to it. It's just a bunch of bullshit.
That's what I was gonna say. I think it's kind of similar to that, where like the story didn't really matter.
There's no real story, man.
You know, the music was so. I mean, Alanis. I know we don't really look like two people that would really fuck with Alanis Morissette, but we do.
Well, I love the girl. I said I knew her for a long time. She was.
The music was great. Like, and you know, I think that was another one of those that they tried to get a little too many Broadway stars at the time to do it.
Well, that's it too. That's it too. But none of them ever hit. But the Queen one was horrible. The Billy Joel one, I walked out literally when it got to intermission. I left and never went back. That was the worst I've ever seen.
One that's good, and again, it's not because of the story or anything like that. It's the Jimmy Buffett one, Escape to Margaritaville. Such a.
I've only seen a little bit of it, and I can tell you the story is just stupid. So
it's nothing. I couldn't even tell you what the story is, but if it's done the right way,
the story is basically fucking a cocktail. They meet the chick and then they go to a bar. It's literally it's Cocktail the musical with Jimmy Buffett music.
Cocktail the musical with Jimmy Buffett.
It's
you know that was good.
But Mamma Mia did it right. They said, look, how do we have a girl whose mother's a whore, bangs 3 guys in one night? The girl doesn't know who her daddy is. Her mom had a train going on. Yep, something happened that night, and then they got to figure out which one of these guys is my daddy, because my mom used to sleep with everybody in the neighborhood. So we're just going to invite all 50 people from the neighborhood over. It's like
there's a gay dude in there as the little could it have been him?
No, but what they did with that musical, though, you got to remember, is they made the music make sense in the story.
Yes. Yeah.
And that's what nobody else has ever done. They just play the fucking music. Again, American Idiot. There's no words. It's just music.
Yep. And the
they don't
words
do anything.
Are not.
Yeah.
I mean,
no. But when you look at the other ones, like Queen, the "We Will Rock You" was just utter garbage.
Yeah.
But I love Queen's music, so I sat through it. I'm telling you, Billy Joel, that was just interpretive dance to Billy Joel music. Yeah. I was so done. I'm like, dude, I can't believe I bought tickets to that shit.
And then Springsteen on Broadway, where he just played piano.
Oh, I wouldn't. You couldn't pay me $10,000 to sit through that shit.
No,
I don't like him anyway. I think he's a turd. I think he's just a piece of garbage.
Are there any other ones that are like? I don't think there are. I don't think there's anything classic like that. I mean, really, like you said, Mamma Mia is the only one that's really ever worked. No, there was one recently. That's another one that I was.
The only thing I got to go back to Springsteen because he's a Jersey guy, and I still think he's a piece of trash. But the only thing to me he ever did worth his shit was he did an album called The River, and that was a good album, and that was it. That was it. He did, and then he just went right back to doing fucking popsicle shit. That's he can make money on the radio with. And then just screeching. He doesn't. He barely hit. He can't hit a note now if you put it on a fucking T-ball stand. You fucking gave him a fucking one of those buffalo bats, man. He ain't hitting shit no more. Him and Bon Jovi are in the same road. At least Bon Jovi was good.
I have a feeling there's a big one we're forgetting. Well, Beatlemania. I guess that was a.
I never looked at that as a Broadway show though. That was. No, just Beatles. That was just a Beatles concert. You know what was good is I remember when we were in Vegas shooting.
Fucking Tommy.
Oh well, Tom.
We forget.
Yeah, Tommy wasn't a great musical though, man. Again, it was great music.
Yep.
But the musical itself was not good. It's just not a great musical, man.
I forgot they did a Bat Out of Hell musical.
But I don't forget because I saw that one too. I actually saw it. That's funny because I was just about to say. The best Beatles thing I ever saw was Cirque du Soleil. I saw Beatles Love.
Yes.
In Vegas. We were shooting a movie in Vegas. We were there for like 6 months, and I went and saw it 3 times. Dude, it was good. I mean, it was like really, really good. But that was probably the best Beatles thing I ever saw. But I saw Bat Out of Hell.
Last thing that he did for them, I think, was
Bat Out of Hell, the musical, I saw in Vegas as well.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it was horrible.
Yeah, We Will Rock You. Aida has all fucking Elton John songs, but they weren't his actual.
Yeah,
songs.
but no, that's what I said. It wasn't like written around his music. It was written. The music was written for the show.
That was Disney getting Elton John and Tim Rice together for another fucking
exactly.
They probably had behind there.
Yeah. After that Lion King money they made.
Jersey Boys. Jersey Boys might be
Uh,
the most complete one.
yeah, but whose music is that? It's not. That's not one. That was just all the music from the era. That wasn't like one person.
Oh, fucking All Shook Up. That's another one I forgot about.
Oh, the Elvis one. Now, you know what? I didn't hate that one, but didn't get again. It was just one of those. The story wasn't great, you know? But there was a motorcycle on stage, which was kind of cool. I did that. I got nominated for an award for that. What are the stupid awards that you were part of? Perry Awards, whatever they were? I got nominated for one for that show, for All Shook Up.
Mine's somewhere around here.
Or did we win it? I think we might have won it. I don't remember.
I remember that being one of them. I don't know. I have all the records somewhere on here.
We might have won it, man. It's in a fucking trash can somewhere if I did. Dude, I fucking trashed my Emmys. You think I'm going to keep a Perry?
Use it to hold something up in here. I'm not going to say that. Oh, man. I think there's another big one that we're missing that has... Or it wasn't... I don't think it was their music, but it was written by somebody that was like a rock star, and you were like, wait, what the fuck? Like, you wrote a musical? I can't remember what the hell it was. This is actually really hard to search for because it just gives you all like the rock music, like The Wiz and shit like that.
Well, there was a lot of bands. You got to remember, there's a lot of bands like you just look at Pink Floyd. I mean, when you look at The Wall was basically a musical, you know, in a sense. And probably, if you want to call that a musical, that was probably the best one I've ever seen.
Yeah. That's actually, it's funny you say that because in this list, that was what just came up, was The Wall by Pink Floyd.
Well, you know, it was created. What was funny is when they created The Wall, if you go back and you look at the story and the history of that, they created that to be a movie, an album, show. I mean, it was all made to be what it was. So it ended up, you know, it was written to be that story, and it was pretty fascinating and mind blowing. I remember when that movie came out, man. I blew my mind. And then it was one of those movies that ended up playing in the Morristown Mall, I think it was, on like the midnight movies they used to have.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
They would do The Wall. They would do Rocky Horror. And it was a couple other films they would do at like midnight movies.
The Buddy Holly story.
Oh, get the fuck out of here. Nobody's seen that. That never even fucking got performed.
I don't think it did.
Who the fuck would watch that?
Yeah, Moving Out, based on the music of Billy Joel.
Oh, that was fucking garbage. I'm telling you, dude, I literally walked out.
Oh, the best one here. Jerry Springer, the opera.
Now that I would see, but Jerry Springer didn't have music, but I would like to see that just to see it.
I would have loved to have done that. I think that's one that we missed out. See, this list is ridiculous. There's Tenacious D and The Pick of Destiny on here.
That was a good concert, though. I went to that concert. I saw that at the Twitter, whatever that's called, the Tweeter Center. I think it was called the E Center then.
Yeah, that's what I think the E Center was. I want to say that's the longest name it's had, was when it was the E Center. I feel like that was almost 10 years before.
And it was like, that was a show. I remember going to the show. It was a lot of fun, and it was like, it was only indoor. It was like in the winter. Like they didn't have the lawn open at all. It was like it was all closed.
Not the band, Jesus Christ, the fucking bank that it was. I know at one point it was TD Bank, but who was TD Bank? Was that Commerce Bank?
It might have been a Commerce Bank. I don't remember.
Bank Center, I think, at one point. There was something around here that was named after Commerce Bank, and then Commerce Bank, like fucking 2 years later, was gone. It was like, oh shit, why'd you even do it? Or what was the other one that was the other big bank that I think got bought out by TD? Was that Commerce?
Yeah, dude, they bought so many banks over the years, man. So many of them merged. I forget half the names.
I feel like Commerce Bank is still a thing.
I'm trying to remember. It was named after a bank for a while, but I don't know if it was Commerce.
Susquehanna Bank. I remember that because it was the SBC, the Susquehanna Bank Center. That was like I was in high school. I think. Damn, now I'm questioning that a lot because it's had so many fucking names, and now I think they're about to get another one too.
Well, my friend,
opera. This list is crazy.
I think so. So our Warped Tour guys never came through, huh?
Yeah, I don't know, and I never heard anything back from them. I sent them a text, so hopefully they didn't get flooded out in the.
Oh man, let's hope not, man. Like I said, I know the weather's been bad around all over the place, but who knows, man.
Yeah, that was weird because they sent me look at this. I got a Ring neighborhood alert. Cars flooding on West and Plum. Seen a couple cars driving on West getting stuck under the water.
Wait. Are they driving or floating? I just saw a couple cars floating by my house.
Floods everywhere. Floods everywhere. I mean, that's like 2 blocks away. I don't think it was that bad.
That's
Around
insane,
here,
man.
And there's nothing to really flood around here. Somebody's storm drain is probably clogged to high hell.
Probably.
Knowing some of the houses around that part.
Yeah, they'd have me as a neighbor. I'd be out there like, look, outside their window with a couple Matchbox cars on a stick, making them look like they're floating. I'd be like, oh my god, cars are floating.
I have been waiting for the day, man. What was that? Hurricane Andrew? I think it was like 96. I'm gonna say it was. I think that's right around when that was. Hurricane Andrew.
It sounds about right, yeah. It's been a while.
I remember being down in Wildwood, and that, Wildwood fucking, that floods at the slightest bit of rain.
Well, dude, Hurricane Sandy flooded out my entire home, and that house, well, it wasn't even my home, it was the duplex I was talking about earlier. Yeah. That flooded that out, and I was living in New York at the time, and everything I owned was in the basement of that duplex.
Oh.
And it ruined and flooded out. I lost everything. All my kids' pictures, all the videos, everything I had. Dude, I lost records that I literally bought in like 1979 and 80. Mm-hmm. Like the first copies that came out of records, all destroyed. They were just one glued together lump of shit.
My parents, I don't think they didn't really think that one through, but my parents' record collection, I mean, it was all like 90s hip hop and stuff, which, given who I am today, I would have loved to have it, but they left it all out in a barn, and all the damn things, they got all warped and all that.
Oh, yeah, man, the heat and the cold out there.
I remember being, right when vinyl started to come back, I was like, dude, I've seen these records my whole life. Like they're somewhere here. I went on this big hunt for them, looked all over the fucking house. I'm like, dude, where are these records at? Like we used to have all this stuff. I basically used to like DJ their parties when I was like a toddler, spinning records on the damn thing in the basement. Like they don't just disappear. So where the hell did they go? Yeah. Come to find out, they were all up in a loft in a barn.
Yeah, that's not a good place.
No, that was not a good place. But
you never attic records. You never if you can't put them in a storage that has like some type of environmental control. You just sell them, man. If you can't keep them.
I accidentally put some in it was one of those IKEA bookshelves. I had the thing fucking loaded up. Put a little bit too close to a vent.
Oh no!
I went to go take one out one day, and I'm like, why is the back of this thing all floppy, dude? Like, what the fuck? It looks like somebody like sat on it, And I kept taking them out, and I'm like, this one's fucked up too. Oh no! And it was that entire section was right there at the vent. So, but you can squish them back.
I had a '72 Dodge Charger, and I had bought the album. It was a Rolling Stones "Tattoo You" record, just came out, and I left it on the dashboard.
Oh.
And on there, we were at the beach. I don't know what we were doing, but we picked the record up. Like, oh, we were just kids, we were idiots.
Yep.
And I'll never forget. Then it was melted, so we took it out, and I let it sit, and it stayed on the dashboard of that car. It melted to the dashboard of the car, and I had the Rolling Stones "Tattoo You" album on my dashboard.
People were making the record bowls, like when it first came out. That was like the big thing everybody wanted. And I had, I forget what the hell it was. They were like the oldest of old that you can imagine. And I thought, oh shit, yeah, I'll use these. We'll melt them down. Yeah, well, no, they were old like Bakelite records still.
Oh, yeah,
that doesn't melt and form. That just melts and turns into a fucking soup at the bottom of your oven. So
and some of the real old ones, they had cardboard in the middle, man. You can't.
Yeah. I found that out all the very hard way. So I was trying to melt them into a bowl. I'm like, God, these are from like the 40s. Nobody listens to this shit anymore. And it's turned into a soup.
I remember a friend of mine, man. He was in a band. He was in one of those boy bands, man. U580 or whatever the fuck they were called. I forget. It was one of those boy bands when the boy bands were popular. And when the boy band broke up, they had like maybe 2 hit songs. I can't remember the name of it. Not UB. I forget what the name of that band was.
Red wine.
I forget what they were called. Anyway, but that's the business. He went into a business where he had like they were, I don't know, you call them like vending machines, I guess. You could go and put your music into it, and you could record, or you could put your music that you made.
I know, absolutely.
It would make the records right there for you.
Yep.
It was like $50 a piece, though. You weren't like printing records to sell or nothing, but but it was kind of cool. But that didn't last long at all, man. His whole venture. I remember there was
an indie label like that where basically they'll cut them. They actually cut them.
He had a warehouse in Brooklyn, man.
Mm-hmm.
Half the warehouse was probably 100 of those machines, and the rest of the warehouse was just filled with thousands. So it was his buddy and him were going in on it. I guess they took their money and they just lost it all. But he had vending machines that would crush Coke cans and shit and give you back money. So it would crush the Coke cans. It would give you like a little piece of paper, and you would take that into like the store that it was in front of, and they would give you cash.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. That lasted for about a year. That didn't work. He had, dude, when I tell you there were thousands of those machines, I'm putting them all over the United States. Yeah, I'm like, yeah, good luck with that, you fucking
I
idiot.
knew a guy down in Wildwood.
I wonder how much he got when they crushed all the machines up.
Yeah. Yeah, I forget. Oh my God, what the hell was his name? John, I want to say. I think his name was John. But he was one of the owners of one of the old hotels down there in Wildwood, and he paid for 3. I think he had 3 kids. All 3 of those kids paid for them by having crushed up cans. Like always collected them from the hotel.
So he bought the kids with crushed up cans.
Paid for their college.
Paid for their college. He's not paying for the kids. Yeah. I'm like, oh, goddamn.
And then he basically sold the place for like fucking millions and millions of dollars, and it's probably like, shit, I collected all those cans for years. For
God,
what?
I can't remember the guy's name. Dude, I knew him for years, too. I don't remember his name off the tip of my tongue, but he owned the Memory Motel down there. He bought it. I'll never forget when he bought it for $30,000. He put about $100,000 into turning it into a Rolling Stones themed hotel.
Yes. Yep.
And then he sold it. So he had about 130 into it. Mm-hmm. He sold it for like $10 million to some developers that ended up turning it into a bunch of little rentals or whatever it is. Now, all I know is whatever he sold it, they all got foreclosed on. They ended up becoming rentals.
Yes.
But they tore down this beautiful old motel that he did, and he took the millions and literally went around and followed the Stones on their world tour and saw every single show around the world. This dude was a Stones freak.
I remember when they first made that.
Yep, and then he had his sliding board was like big lips. He would slide through the lips. Yep.
And everything. Yep. And then there was something that wasn't the one with like the airline, or what the fuck are they called? Airstreams. The campers out back.
No,
that's what they turned into. I think they did that at that hotel after they sold it, and it got turned into. No, maybe that's what it is now. Actually, there was one of those down there that was like kind of.
People always,
like
if you can go back in time and do something again, I always say that's the first thing I would do. When he bought that hotel, there were probably another 5 or 6. He tried everything. I can't remember his name, but Jerry something. He tried everything he could do to get me to buy a couple hotels on that block with him. Yep. So we could do this cool thing. I'm like, dude, I am not buying a fucking hotel. I don't want to deal with the people. I don't want to deal with anything. Dude, he goes, oh, you just hire Russians. They do everything. They come in. I'm like, dude, I don't want to deal with that shit, man. I'm not doing that. And I literally could have bought a hotel for about 30, 40 grand and sold it like 5 years later for $20 million.
Absolutely.
I would go back to that day in Wildwood and I would buy every hotel on that fucking block because I had the money. I had bought them all. And right now, I'd be worth a couple $100 million. I could tell Elon to suck it. Yeah. Well, you probably tell Elon to suck it anyway.
You and David Lowy could have had a lot to talk about on that one.
Yeah, yeah. I own the Gold Coast of New Jersey.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, you might own Gold Coast properties, but I own the Brown Coast, bitch.
You might own all those, but you know what, buddy? I bought all these places for 120 grand. Sold them for 50 mil.
Whose profit margin's better?
Yeah, well, ours would have been. Yeah. And I did, dude. I literally, the one guy was, I can't remember the one, Beachcomber or something. The guy was doing everything he could to sell it to me. And he wanted 50 grand. He was down to like 35,000. And I was this far from writing a check. And I'm like, nah, dude, I can't, man. I can't do it. And I'm like, then I'm stuck here if something happens. And I'm like, I was, doing movie shit. I'm like, I'm going to get stuck here, Yep. And that's what I didn't want. He's like, well, you just spend the summers here. You don't have to do it. He was doing everything he could to talk me into it.
Summers here.
And I'll never forget when he sold it. He looked at me and said, bro, you should have bought it. And he looked at me, he goes, if I knew, he goes, I would have bought 4 more, man. Everybody was selling. Yeah. Everybody was selling. And 5 years later, for some reason, man, these developers came in and they were just throwing money around.
Bought everything.
It was crazy.
And like you said, I mean, less than 3-4 years after that, they're all fucking getting
all foreclosed on. All foreclosed on.
It's just,
because who the fuck is going to buy a condo in Wildwood, New Jersey for $600,000 that you're going to go in for 3 months out of the year?
Yep.
They were asking $600 grand.
our next door neighbors down there. So we had that house on 11th and Central, and it's actually, we sold it to a family that still has it. So that house is still there somehow because it's a corner lot. I mean, the fucking property was huge, and the house is still standing. But our next door neighbors, they sold theirs to a developer. They had, like, when I tell you a little bungalow, I mean, this was like a 2-bedroom house sold for over $1 million, and the developer actually built them their own condo in the bottom floor of it.
Damn.
So that they didn't have to move anything. Their address stayed the
Damn.
same. Like, all that shit stayed the same, and they still have it to this day. And I've never seen anyone else in that condo other than them.
Well, I'm trying to remember. His name was I can't remember his last name. Jerry something. But he came. I remember seeing him like a couple years later because he was still living in Jersey. He still had a house in Jersey. And but he and I remember he said, "Man," he goes, "Do you see what they did?" He said because they built them all like double high and shit.
Yep.
And it was like, so what they spent $10 million on, they sold like $30 million worth of so-called, townhomes, I guess. And he's like, man, he goes, I got robbed. He goes, I'm like, dude, first of all, you paid 30 grand for the place. You got 10 million. Shut the fuck up before I slap you.
Robbed.
I said, but you would have had to go through all the bullshit. And I don't know if you remember when they built them, they just brought them in. They were like, sat them, and they were like Legos.
Yep.
They fucking Lego housed that shit together. These people spent 600 grand.
Didn't they change the ordinance or something that you couldn't build over 2 stories high or something like that?
Yes, and they all started being 2 stories.
It was actually the highest. Like ours was a 4-story. Like
you good kid?
Story was an apartment for our family, but I'm pretty sure ours was like the tallest building up until you got to the beach. Like if we stood on our attic, we had a little deck up there. You could see straight to the boardwalk from our house, and there was nothing else around it. So, but I think they got grandfathered in because it was that the house technically got raised. They didn't build it up; they just lifted the house up. My grandparents did. So
okay,
that was, I think, how they got around it. But after that, I think it changed. It was probably like, I don't know, 2005, 2006 that they changed it to where now all of a sudden you can build the 3- and 4-story townhouse.
Well, now they don't give a shit. Now because like I said, everything was vacant for years because they were all in foreclosure. It was horrible down there. But all right, brother, our time is done. I got a dog whining to friggin' eat over here. She's just staring at me like I'm a sandwich. I'm gonna feed you, dude. Relax. She's like, it's 9 o'clock.
9:02. How?
All right. Well, again, thank you to our guests that came on. It's a shame we didn't hear from the Warp guys. It would have been nice, man, because they seem like a bunch of nice guys. Seems like it's going to be a really good show.
Yeah.
But is what it is, my friend. But look, it was nice to be back with you, man. Even from my cozy bungalow over here.
Absolutely. I think viewership is back up, so we're good.
Yes, we will. We will bring the show back. We will come back from the depths of Desco and raise this sucker once again. I am slowly starting to feel better. I'm working on it. Doc said today I need to exercise more. The only thing I've been doing is this rowing thing, and it doesn't row much. But so she said I exercise should help. So I'm like beefing up. I'm
there you go.
Be like Johnny Scissors again. Hey, how you doing?
How you doing?
My big neck and shit. Hey, fuck you fucking asshole. Start roiding up. All right, man. I think the Phillies are on a little bit too, man. They're still out in San Fran.
Another late night one, huh?
Yeah, another San Fran game.
We'll see how that one goes. How many more calls we can get.
Yeah. Hopefully. All right, brother. Have a good night. Thank you to all those who tuned in and viewed, and we will be back next week, maybe in the studio. See if I can get back. I got a long ride to get back. And, Steve's in his office over there, so.
Flooded roads,
Yes. But love you, brother. I will see you soon. Good night, everyone. Thank you, and have a pleasant tomorrow.
Uh-oh. I didn't set the outro video.
Oh, shit.
I did set the outro video. What the fuck's going on here? Hold on. There we go. All right. Bye, everyone.
Take care, everyone.